But, Dawn, we have the four people on who I think my Mount Rushmore. You may have others. Basically won Pennsylvania for Trump, in addition to Trump in the campaign. Kearns, Parnell, Worthington, and, of course, Scott Presler today takes a bow. Wouldn't come on last night. I think you know. He didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Superstitious. I love it.
Oh, yeah. He was pacing. So great stuff with you last night, though, Dawn. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Can't wait to hear the Dom show. And if you missed last night, watch it on YouTube and all the podcasts and everything, because Dom, nobody does it better. Dom Giordano show starts right now.
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bizzaccia here from Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With crash-proof retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts, no worries. No fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Don't let cold season make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution for nasal congestion, Navage. Navage uses gentle suction to flush out your sinuses with refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all winter long. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at select Costco locations in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better fast. Check out Navage at your local Costco today. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Breathe easy.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, welcome in, everyone. I cannot take credit for predicting what happened yesterday would happen. Maybe some other people did. You know, I thought Trump was going to win, but it was going to come down to the wire here in Pennsylvania. It broke through the wire very easily last night, even before we went off air. It looked as if pretty much a rout. Trump is about 5 million votes up in the popular vote. Now, I really don't care about that. I only care about it for one reason. It's pushback material for those that want to attack the Electoral College. So we're going to bring you today, in addition to your calls and the usual stuff that we do, 4 people who were so instrumental in winning Pennsylvania. I don't know these other states. We're not on the ground. I can't imagine they had anybody, though, like Scott Presler. I defy you. Wouldn't come on last night at the height of it. Didn't want to jinx it. Pacing back and forth. Oh, my goodness. You can imagine. You can't invent Scott Presler. You really can't. Linda Kearns. You know, we've joked with her a lot, but boy, on top of stuff, all the fires that were out there. Jim Worthington. Could anybody be a bigger cheerleader and fundraiser? And he has his own facility. Sure, come on over. 5,000 people at the NAC. And then Captain Parnell, who had the tough mission of convincing people to do mail-in balloting. And it worked. I mean, we got to probably do that again in the midterms. Let's get on it. If you didn't do it this time, it worked. It's the way to go, whether you want to do it in person or not. But The View, look, I agree with Bill O'Reilly. You know, gloating with some people, it's not right. You know, we would say the same thing if they were gloating the other way. But there are people where it is correct. And the idiots on The View, they lead the list. But right there is partner in crime to Oprah, Gayle King. We're going to play her today saying, well, nobody would want Trump to babysit their kids. How desperate is the country that we elect a man you wouldn't let babysit your kids? You can't make it up. Let's start with Sonny Hostino. Sonny, gone after misogyny, racism, and Trump is going to start those internment camps Here's Sunny
I don't
Hostin.
know. I'm profoundly disturbed.
Yeah, we know that.
I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have.
Let's stop it right there. Let's stop it. Somebody's got to just call these women out. Is it all about abortion? You know, I don't want to start right in the beginning, but it's just endless. Less rights than she had in grandma. That's just not, that's a lie. And you know how bad you look? This constant drumbeat on abortion, particularly with Trump, who doesn't care about national bans on abortion. But there's more with Sunny Haas.
And I remember my father telling me many, many years ago that I was the first person in his family to enjoy full civil rights. And now I have less civil rights than I had when he told me that.
Based on what?
So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country, because I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons.
Well,
and so that box better be taken off. And I think our healthcare system is now at risk. I think
no fluoride for anyone.
Yeah, economists have made clear that he's going to increase the debt by $7.75 trillion. I'm worried about mass deportation and internment camps, and I'm also worried about Elon Musk warning Americans to prepare for temporary hardship. I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed-race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum of cultural resentment.
Of course, we got to go back. He's a Jewish guy. She's a mixed-race woman, so that's why they lost.
And internment camps, Don?
Internment camps, yes. Where are they coming? All right, the View meltdown today, they deserve it. So does Gayle King. Gayle King is not a talent. It's the Oprah connection over the years that's gotten her there. Listen to King on CBS this morning tell us she went to Pennsylvania, apparently. Couldn't find anybody that would say they would let Trump babysit their kids. So how is he president if he can't babysit? Gayle King's, well, she doesn't have kids. Here's how it sounded.
Nora, I wanted to pick up what John is saying, and you too, Cecilia, when you said, you know, you used to think it was about your morals, your integrity, and your character. You know, when we started out the evening, we said that the Harris campaign said that they were nauseously optimistic. Last time I checked, nausea is never a good thing. The Trump campaign was cautiously optimistic. And when I was in Pennsylvania talking to people, I had person after person, Trump supporter, say to me, yeah, he's mouthy, but I'm mouthy. Yeah, he doesn't tell the truth, but every politician lies. Yeah, he doesn't represent the values that I hold dear, but that's not what I'm looking for. I want to know, can this person do the job? And time after time after time, it came back to immigration, really hard on immigration, and the economy. But when I asked, who would you trust to babysit your children?
Oh, my God.
Nobody. Only one person chose Donald Trump. And I just think, when you put it in that context, I'd like to know what that says about us as a country. What does this mean? John, is it a brand new party? Is it a brand new day? And we should also say nobody has 270 yet either. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the Harris campaign is still nauseously optimistic, but I bet they're getting a little sicker now as the night progresses.
All right, here's the thing. The line today, except for morning, now Mika, Dan, you probably weren't up yet then. Mika today had this black funeral dress on. I know she was saving up for this, with a black collar going all the way around.
Yeah.
But Morning Joe was attacking cancel culture and Democrats being woke. My God, where has he been? To Gayle King's point, this is where the media's gone. They're attacking the country. What does this say about the country? Now, here are a couple of thoughts along the way with this, and we can go back a little bit and forward a little bit today. One, Joe Biden won. We were coming toward the end of COVID. The media covered up his inabilities, cognitive and otherwise, and he was able to masquerade as a moderate. Think about it. That's what he was sold at. It will be softer. It won't be chaotic, all those things that Trump was. That's how he did it. Kamala Harris couldn't hide it. She tried her best to hide it. Two, Morning Joe today, Dan, I was jotting it down almost word by word. My column last week was the big sleeper issue is transgendered males in sports, transgender stuff in schools. Why? It's a tell. It tells us that the other side, to a lot of Latino African-American men, I think, wow, look at this. Charlemagne the God brought this up with his crew several times. She really wants to give sex change operations to people in jail illegally? Really? Yeah. And she really wants men out there running over top of females? Yeah. They spent about $32 million, the Trump campaign, on those kinds of ads. Money well spent. Whoever got the message. And then we're told, why do you people care about this? Well, we care about it because it tells us how out of touch and how radical they are. I just can't stomach anyone. I have to admit, it's not even the transgender stuff in school. I'll admit it. It's the sports thing that bother me. I don't know about Henry. He's as sports as I am. It's the competitive level, and I see females out there competing. It's not even the injury level. It's not even a how dare you still have a penis and all that stuff. It's a simple thing. It's unfair. It's completely unfair. We know this. Every study indicates that. Why would we do that? Well, then that's not fair. Where are they supposed to go play? And the answer is, if there are enough people transgendered or play in your biological sex, just because there's a few people that want to do this doesn't mean they get to go and play against women or girls. How much clearer could it be? Well, it's a handful. Martha Raddatz, right? Henry, do you have something on that? You know, you're typing there.
No, I'm just typing notes. No, I'm in a full agreement with you, though. It's a shortcut. It's not fair to all the women who worked their whole lives, played countless amounts of games over summers, over winters, over falls, to get where they are, and then just have it be usurped by somebody who didn't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I want to see some major women's sports like WNBA now, some guy who's pretty good come in, score 40 points a game, and they would go wild. They would go, this throwing back. You can't have this. You can't do this. Leah Thomas tying Riley Gaines. I mean, just we've talked about this so many times. The average person goes, look, it's the economy, it's the border, it's things like that. But you know what? I'm tired of these people. Here's Scott Jennings, who really has become a star. We're going to try to get him on CNN last night, talking about Trump's win. It's the revenge of the working class American. Cut 20, Dan.
This is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican, for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans. Fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz and the camo hats. Night after night after night, We were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line, and we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election.
Okay, you can stop it right there, Dan. That's exactly right. How many times have we talked about diminishing the middle class? They have no answer to it. They did it. She doesn't know what to do because it conflicts with their policies. Biden did it to be FDR. We've been through this. I'm heartened that so early on, the average person, when they saw the grocery store stuff and all of it, they started to connect it to Biden and his policies. They don't need a doctorate in economics to know when you throw more money out there in the way that you did, you're going to devalue the money that's already there. It's called inflation. And that means you're not going to be able to buy stuff without paying a whole lot more. And it means your income's not keeping up with that. How many different ways do we need to see that? So the referendum today is to attack Americans, a lot of them, and say, what have we become that they could do this again? The great line, and this guy's relatively conservative, Jim Garrity, National Review, the Biden win over Trump was not the end of Trumpism. It was just an intermission. So that brings us to our side question, which is today. By the way, we're going to declare a winner at the end today, 2 winners. Yesterday, we never got to it, so jammed up. We'll do it today. All-time comeback. Now, don't think of just sports. You can go with sports. But think of a little bit outside the box of a comeback of some sort, because this is a remarkable comeback. Trump was on the ropes. After the first term, if you remember it, him headed home, Elba, Napoleon. And who was marching in? Ron DeSantis. And look at how Trump figured out where America is on abortion versus what Ron DeSantis did. 6-week ban. Ridiculous. I don't think he has any political future. I don't know how he figures a way out of it. That's not where America is. And Trump figured that out. I'll take off the boards. This seems like a strange one. The Russian comeback in World War II. I mean, the Nazis took over 2,000 miles of territory. They were just rolling. They're continuing to get territory. They're sucked in. Suddenly, it's the winner. What the hell happened? We're in Stalingrad, and now all of a sudden, it's over. I mean, it was a massacre of the highest order. Hitler said, just fight for every step. Yeah, you tried doing that in Stalingrad. Henry, what's yours?
Yeah, so you know I'm going to go sports here.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone loves a good March Madness story. I'm going to give you a niche one here.
Okay. Well, editor's note there somewhere. Jim Kelly hit a buzzer. Niche, yeah. Go ahead. Yes. Niche.
So it was the 2007 Division II Men's Basketball National Championship, where Barton was taking on Winona State, who at that point had won 57 straight games and was the national championship. They were down 7. Barton was down 7 with 45 seconds left in the game, and their star guard, Anthony Atkinson, scored 10 points in the final 45 seconds, including a layup at the buzzer, to take down Winona State. And it's an electric call because if you know Ian Eagle, he's a famous broadcaster out there.
But it's Winona State. Who cares?
But
wait a minute. Barton was in the game. Don't forget Barton.
Barton's a school of less than 1,000 kids, so it's a pretty impressive feat. And the call by Ian Eagle is phenomenal. And he says to this day that's the best game he's ever called.
Man, Ian Eagle, I'm not so impressed with that guy. I'll tell you that.
Dom, I'm going to take listeners out to Minneapolis, Minnesota for a great story where the District 5 Pee Wee hockey team, Dom, are joined by the greatest comeback story in all of fiction, that of a drunken lawyer, Dom. They take on the Adena Hawks, and then go on to represent the USA in a heated match against Iceland. How about the Great Mighty Ducks with Gordon Bombay?
That's right. It can be fictional, too. It can be fictional, or it could be something like Henry's or the Russians winning one.
We're all over here.
855-839-1210. It's a comeback. Think outside the box, because this is a comeback that is hard to believe. 855-839-1210. Kamala Harris, just one note, not coming out last night and conceding then. I got to say, I don't care if you think that's, oh, my God. I can't imagine the pain when you lose the presidency. You know, Trump the last time, Harris this time, Hillary Clinton the other time. I just can't imagine that. You work your heart out toward it. So, you know, if you can't quite concede then, coming and doing it the next day, I kind of get it. I still think it takes a lot. And Rose saying, you got to go out and concede. I'm not conceding anything. You know, or You're in a stupor somewhere.
All right, today, Dom, is a day that I feel might be a good time to finally concede the fact that you can't throw a football 40
There we
yards.
go. Oh, concession day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm working on that. I saw a speed drill on the Golf Channel that I think will speed up my arm.
So hold on, you're going to take golf tips for your arm?
Yes, you swing it, tie
You're
a
really
knot.
reaching here now, Dom.
Tie a knot at the top of the towel, and then you swing it through like this.
38.6 feet, Dom. That's where we're going to top out. You're not going to get any more than
That's
that.
what people used to do for like javelin throws back in college. They'd warm up with a towel like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Snapping it. Henry, how far can you throw a football?
Longer than me, I would think.
I don't think so.
I hope I could throw it 40 yards at least.
Dan threw it pretty well. I got to concede that.
Well,
the flip-flops.
I don't know. I'm
nice
going to have to test myself and see how far I can throw.
Down at Mulligan's this summer, we might have to have a revival. I'm building up
I love
toward
it.
that. Yep.
Got a good arm.
All right, 855.
You concede that it's not a good idea to drive with 2 feet.
No, it's an excellent idea. 2-foot drivers out there. It's a great idea.
I think I get a little too mixed up with that.
No, you wouldn't after a while. You'd see. It's very easy. Just sat that. Dan doesn't have the rhythm to do it. That's all it is. All right. It's 855-839-1210. Scott Presler here at 1 o'clock. It's unbelievable on social media.
Well, you conceded Back to the Future 2 is better than the first one.
I haven't seen it yet. So
okay.
There's no way that I can.
Nice
now that the election's over,
it turned me off. It turned me off so much I couldn't even watch it, to be honest.
Watch it in
so I have to
celebration
try
now,
it. Yes, if it happened to be on, and I'm trying to fall asleep, and I need something to make me fall asleep, I might go with it. But I know Back to the Future 3 is as bad as Godfather 3.
And finally, it's time, Dom, to concede that it is sauce, not gravy.
That is never. Those are fighting words. That's way down on the list. People would reject me if I did that. All right, 855-839-1210. You be the first one in. We'll talk with Jim Worthington. I didn't get over to the NAC last night. I don't know if they stayed there to 3 in the morning. I think they did. As results were rolling in, we're still watching McCormick and Casey, and Philadelphia is slow to report somehow or another. I mean, everything else is going along fine. But apparently there are votes out here in Philadelphia in the McCormick-Casey race, which we don't understand. So the instant we can call it, we'll let you know. It's big in the Senate. And the House, it looks like Republicans are going to have a slim majority. I'm hoping. 855-839-1210.
Hi, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding for years now. How much I love the work the Chapman family team has done in my home, especially that wall of glass patio doors that replaced some windows when you walk into my foyer area. You know by now if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I would only trust the Chapman team. But did you know they also install shutters? A perfect complement to your new windows. For the month of November, Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding is giving away a pair of shutters when you purchase 2 pairs. The right shutters can really enhance the curb appeal of your home. Whether you or somebody you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, shutters, or hardware, just give them a call. You can text them. They're local. 610-431-8898. That's 610-431-8898. You can always take a virtual tour online, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Get all the details. That's ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
In a world filled with financial information, Citizens can help you make sense of it. So whether you're signing up or hitting snooze on some financial newsletters, scrolling through your socials that all seem to be saying the same thing, or getting together with your neighbors at a cookout to game plan college funds, you're ready to make the most of it. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/made-ready.
Businesses to watch. It's tailgate season at Armin Chevrolet. Armin offers an incredible lineup of SUVs. A 2025 Armin Chevrolet Trek starts at only $21,495. That's right, only $21,495. From the all-new Armin Equinox and Traverse to the stylish Blazer to the full-size Tahoe and Suburban, Armin Chevrolet has an SUV to fit your needs and budget. It's tailgate season, and Armin Chevrolet is the place to buy or lease your perfect Chevrolet SUV. Armin, where dealership meets friendship. Together, let's drive. Learn more at ArminChevy.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090. 800-714-9090.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Donald Trump has won the election and will be the 47th president of the United States. Trump took home Pennsylvania. Nearly every county's results in the state shifted Republican compared to 2020. And it's looking like a massive red wave across the country. Republicans will also have control of the Senate.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Dom Giordano Show. So I agree with Bill O'Reilly about the over-gloating, except for certain people, but I'm not going to let up on the fact that this rotten National Democrat Party did not tag in Josh Shapiro, who is just a killer politically. And they tag in Tim Walz. Just think about how off this party is when they basically feel they have to do that. You want someone deciding, you got Josh Shapiro on the bench, put me in, coach, and you tag in Tim Walz. You know, that'd be like I have a 6'8" Dan Borowski on the bench, and next to him I have a 5'4" guy with his underwear hanging down, dribbling with two hands. I'm putting Borowski in the game.
It's a mistake.
That's what they thought too. Let's go to Scott in Mount Laurel, though.
Scott would never start me on a high school basketball team. Even
he's going to get you to 70% foul shooting. Hey, Scott, welcome in. I'm working on that foul shooting. I'm up to about 79%.
I'll tell you what, we'll get it together. We'll get Dan stroking that nice arc, get that follow through going. We'll be in good shape.
Good luck there, Scott.
You don't know the challenge.
How many coaches have tried?
I like a challenge. I like a challenge.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, you got to give so much credit to the RNC, or what Trump did with the RNC to get them to prevent all these attempts to cheat. And the reality is, we can't get so happy that we won that we don't prosecute these people. We need to prosecute anyone who tried to cheat this time, and maybe even go back to people I think that cheated in 2020. And we really need to make it say, hey, look, you can't cheat. We don't want to do this every election and have to worry about it.
No, that is a great point. They have to follow through on it. All those phony voter registrations, that's the place to start, Scott. Without a doubt, they were on it. Look, Whatley is an expert in that, the head of the RNC. But Laura Trump, once they put her in there day-to-day doing stuff, really grew into the role. And they hired Linda Kearns here locally. This was as good as it gets. Even Philadelphia didn't get out of line too much, as far as I can tell.
And what are we going to do for Scott Presler? I mean, we got to we got to have the feast this year, and obviously he could be local or national guy of the year. I mean, this guy.
Well, he's got
an unbelievable guy.
He's got three categories.
Makes my life easier. Kill two birds with one stone. There.
He's a local, national, and the hair of the year, without a doubt.
Yeah. I know that you don't like guys with hair that are competing with yours, though.
Right. Well, Scott, it seems like
he's already conceded that one.
It seems like we made him up. Like Scott Presler is an apparition. He really doesn't exist. You couldn't create a guy doing this, right?
It is amazing. He is everything you'd want, and you wouldn't even be able. You're right. You wouldn't even be able to imagine what he's done, and everything that goes with him. It's just. It's amazing. I can't give that guy enough credit. We should all chip in and send him on a vacation or something.
I'd like to bring him here. I think a bar event is the way to go with Scott Presler. That seems, Scott, what I think works. We'll see if we can work that up.
Absolutely, and my it was so exciting last night. I was listening to you till midnight, and there was no results, and then I turned on Fox News, and I'm waiting, and finally at 1:40 or whatever it was, they announced that he won Pennsylvania. Oh, what a great moment that was! It was like we actually won it, and it's just amazing.
Scott, just think of a basketball team though that's got and let's take his ideology out of it, right? You got Tim Walz. And then you have the Pennsylvania governor, and you're going with I'm putting Tim Walz in the game. Can you imagine in Philadelphia? Just look at him.
There's no question how insane that was.
Yes.
And if you think about it, I mean, look at J.D. Vance. He really helped the Trump ticket.
Exactly.
He was great in the debate. He added a level of calmness to it, a level of precision. When he went on those media interviews, I mean, like with that Martha Raddatz, I mean, he really made a difference.
He did. Only a handful is the best phrase from Martha Raddatz. So what's your comeback, Scott?
Well, my comeback is Richard Nixon. I mean, the guy,
yes.
And it's apropos because he got cheated in 1960.
He definitely
which
got
everyone
cheated.
Yeah, well, and that's what we got to remember. The Democrats have been cheating for what? Now, how many? That's 60-something years now. But so he got cheated. And not only that, he lost the governor's election in California in 1962, and then he comes back in 1968 and wins the presidency. And then wins in 72 in a 49-state landslide.
And not only that, one of the most awkward guys imaginable, the whole thing. How did a guy like that suck it up and win the presidency? That's a good one.
It is amazing. And one last thing, what you guys have done over there in this election is unbelievable. Having Presler on all the time, having Laura Trump on, having Linda Kearns on. I mean, keeping everybody up to date. Hey, what's going on? Let us know. Get us in touch. We want to let everybody know what's going on. That stuff goes a long way.
Big reason for that coming up next here, too.
Yep. Thank you, Scott. Well placed. Yes, it's the whole Mount Rushmore of Pennsylvania win here. Now, some of them might be self-effacing. I hope not. I hope they say, yeah, that's right. I had something to do with this. They can credit Trump. I think Jim Worthington I'm going to break him down here and get him to admit he had a lot to do with it.
I was going to say, he better be in that gym running physical victory laps today.
Exactly.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
He just said he had a lot of energy, even though he got an hour of sleep last night. So I don't see why not.
His 2025 project is the revitalization of Dan Borowski. It's already underway.
Oh, okay.
I've already committed to fees for it and all. This is going to be quite
Have
a
you?
fee. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then they get to use the water park, too.
Yeah. You do. All right. The neck. Jim Worthington next. And then Scott Presler, Linda Kearns later, and Captain Parnell. All the Mount Rushmore. The reasons I see that we won Pennsylvania. Well, let's tag into Josh Shapiro. Man, he had to be saying last night, that's right. That's right. You didn't want me? Now, here I come, 4 years from now. Tim Walz. Can you imagine the embarrassment of this, walking around with Tim Walz and the wife? All right, the NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sports book, they want you to catch all the action. And right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off and buzzer beater is place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/Dom. Make every moment more this season. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus. Present in Pennsylvania. After 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Another girls' night out.
I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Rich Ziola. You know that Dr. Mike Veneria is my friend. He's my dentist. He's the master of dental implants. Did you also know that he hosts an annual Veterans Breakfast every year to thank our men and women who have served our country? And he also hosts a free community shredding event so you can shred all those confidential, sensitive documents so nobody hacks your identity and tracks you down. Saturday, November 9th, Veterans Day weekend. Your opportunity to come out, say hello to our veterans, thank them, get some coffee, cake, donuts, even breakfast pizza. Breakfast pizza, what's that? It's a real thing. And if you've been thinking about getting that beautiful smile you deserve, reach out to my buddy Dr. Mike Veneria. For 12 years, he's been recognized among his peers as a master of dental implants. He's a guy who cares, he gives back to our veterans and our community, and he's my entire family's dentist. You won't be disappointed. So come out on Saturday, November 9th for the Veterans event and free community shredding event. Go to veneriadental.com for more information. veneriadental.com. I'll see you Saturday, November 9th at his Cinnaminson office, veneriadental.com.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It will feel more like September today with a very warm air mass in place. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, high around 80. The record high is 79. Mostly cloudy and mild tonight, low 62. And for Thursday, a shower possible early, otherwise partly sunny, still warm with a high 76.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. Maybe a little bit tired today, but worth it. That seems to be the sentiment from everybody that I talk with. And our Mount Rushmore today, leading off the four people that we were in contact with, at least, that just did remarkable things to get across the finish line in Pennsylvania. The owner of the Neck, Jim Worthington, leads off here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jim, welcome back. Congratulations for your role in this. Don't be self-effacing. Yes, it was Trump, but Worthington was everywhere else, be it at McDonald's, fundraising, hosting parties, your own field house. It was unbelievable.
We were pretty involved in the campaign. I'm not going to lie, Dom. And I'm the tip of the spear of the group that I have. You know, we're kind of like activists. We do our own thing, but we work in conjunction with the state GOP and all the other people. But we are very proud of Bucks. I mean, I said on more than one occasion on the stage, whether it was when President Trump was back here in April for a fundraiser or when it was J.D. Vance here in September 29th, or again last Sunday night or Monday night when he was here for his last campaign event. If you win Bucks County, you win Pennsylvania, and if you win Pennsylvania, you're the next president of the United States. And we did something historic, which was hasn't been done since 1988. We won Bucks County by 512 votes. We had 195,147 votes, and when I knew that we were 1.4 to 1 early voting, 1.4 votes to 1 when it was 4 to 1 back in 2020 going into election night, and I heard that the polls were mobbed with people, I knew we were going to win. I told Brian Fitzpatrick, our congressman, we're going to take Bucks County. We did. It was only 500 votes. But, by the way, historically, if you're within 3 points in Bucks County on election day for the president, within 3, you're losing by 3, you're going to probably win Pennsylvania. The fact that we won it was just spiking the ball, which was just amazing to us.
Oh, yeah. So were people, Scott Presler would not come on last night, Jim. He didn't want to jinx it. Were people afraid of jinxing it there, or were they thinking, no, every sign points toward it?
I wasn't. I was down in the belly of the beast in Doylestown on the Murtaugh show at 10:30 yesterday, and had a little bit of hostile crowd to me since that's where the guy that lived that did the online petition against me, which I sued and won. But anyway, they didn't receive me well, when I got down there. By the end, I think I won them over. But I told Smirkanish that I believe between 11 and 12 that there would be a call for Pennsylvania in the Trump category, and that he would win Pennsylvania. It was a little bit later than that. I will tell you, ironically, the war room for Bucks County was in my building that night, and there was a malfunction of counting refreshing the votes, and it got held up, and they couldn't get it done. So it was really an hour later than it could have been. And interesting story. Literally, I was getting calls from Palm Beach that the president was in the motorcade, and he needed us to get Bucks County refreshed, and they called me to get them moving. And and by the time he got there, we got it refreshed. So that was they're the kind of things that I. Like as you know, like the McDonald's event, they called me and said, "Look, we need a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. Can you find one?" And I did that for them. I hooked them up in Feasterville, Bucks County. But look, my mission was to win Bucks County, and I'll tell you, what I'm proud about, we were, the leading. Now I say this, so I've been told all the way up until a week ago, the leading fundraiser for the president in the country. I'm not talking about Elon Musk PAC money. I'm talking about raising the hard money. We raised more money than anybody in the country for the president. We had a tremendous ground game. Linda Mitchell, my another assistant, Taylor Kelly, ran. We gave our People for Trump volunteers to the Trump Force team. We had a couple thousand people. We turned them over, and they stayed involved. They oversaw the ground game in Bucks with the Trump Force, Ava Sherwood, who was great. We've ran more events than anybody, in the country, I bet, out of my facility and for the president. I mean, just to give you an example alone, we had Dave McCormick here on Sunday with Byron Donalds. The next morning, I had Brian Fitzpatrick with Mike Pompeo, and that night I had J.D. Vance
exactly.
for his last campaign event. And then the other thing, we're surrogates for the campaign. We speak all the time. I do a lot of media hits. So I'm very proud of the work we did and my team. And I can tell you the people, we had 2,000 people here last night, Bucks County residents that came out to celebrate. All hell broke loose when they announced it. It was like, why we're playing YMCA, we're dancing. It was just amazing. But I do want to say this. The people you're having on today, Scott Presler and the group, Parnell, they all did yeoman's work. They were essential as well. All the people around the state that got the votes out. Lawrence Tavis was huge. The local groups around here. It was really a team effort. And I can tell you, so proud of Pennsylvania and all the people and what they did, and your support, Dom, and you've been amazing, giving me a voice to be able to talk about the things we're doing. So it just was an incredible night. And by the way, I finally fell asleep at 6 o'clock because my phone was off the hook. At 7 o'clock, I got up for an hour's sleep, hit the gym at 8 with my buddy Dan McCluskey. We worked out for 2 hours, and I never felt greater.
That works in Dan's schedule. He can do it 8 o'clock in the morning. My producer, Dan, you could have him
right before dawn. Come over and work the nap.
Right before dawn. Yeah, no, Jim, it is remarkable. I'm glad you're taking some of the credit because it is due here. That's how something like I don't know every one of these other swing states. All that I know is here in Pennsylvania. The 4 that I know, this is remarkable stuff. It's not just hard work and enthusiasm. It's skill. It's talent. And you have that in all these fields that we've talked about. So kudos to you, Jim. And I hope we have another big party soon that I can come to. Pretty tough last night. I wasn't going to go in 1 hour's sleep like you.
Yeah, well, the good news is I'm going to their big party. I'll be down in Mar-a-Lago on tomorrow. I'll be down there till Sunday. And ironically, I just got a call from his top fundraising person down there who works directly for him, Meredith O'Rourke, who's a superstar. And I think she was just trying to hook me up with a conversation with the president. So I'm going to call her back here in a minute.
Oh, well, let us know. Yeah. Remember, he owes us a visit here at some point, Jim. I know you'll get him ultimately.
I will. I worked my rear tail off to get him and or J.D. Vance, and I do feel bad for our listeners because I think it would have helped. But and then it's always nice to have you interview and get the message out because that's what you do. Your guest before me was talking about all the things that you, one of your callers, all the things you guys do, you and Dan do, and you're such an important voice for our movement and conservatives all over Pennsylvania and the surrounding tri-state area. I can't thank you enough.
Same here, Jim. See you soon. Thank you, Jim Worthington.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Danny's promised he'll be on soon. We'll see. Scott Presler in the On Deck Circle. I don't know these other states. I don't know the characters there. I'm sure there's some. But I don't think they measure up to the people we brought you that you've heard, we've gotten to know, and what they did throughout all this, each one in a different realm. Probably really impressive to me is Sean Parnell. He took the really hard job, the mail-in ballot. Now, we improved he'll tell us a little bit later, by like 5 points, I think. And you're going to say, it's still only down around 30. Well, I could say, let's hope we don't have to do it again, but let's face it, in 2026, that'll be the play again. Big story, too, is Larry Krasner hearing footsteps. George Gascon got defeated roundly in Los Angeles yesterday. The extremely progressive, remember his Hail Mary, letting the Menendez brothers go or trying to get them out? He got dumped pretty big. Could Larry Krasner be defeated here? He's up in 25. That's already underway. People going back and forth with that. And is he going to bring any legal action against the mayor for going into a polling place with poll workers standing in front of voting machines taking pictures? That's not legal. Otherwise, don't tell everybody else about what you're going to do to them. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Coming to more of your calls. Side question today. All-time comeback. Richard Nixon was a good one. That's absolutely an amazing comeback. Hit us with that. Hey, at Batteries Plus Bulbs, Mount Laurel and Northfield, my friend Roy is looking for help. And you know why? This has been our go-to guy. if it's a phone issue, any kind of technology issue, if it's a issue involving something in business, energy audits, some workaround that you need, these are the go-to. So over the years, maybe 10 or more that we've talked with Roy, we got quite a following that keeps him busy. He wants somebody who might be a handy do-it-yourselfer, great low-pressure part-time job. Customer service is key. So if you're willing to do what it takes to help, you need to talk to Roy. And if you need help yourself, well, he's the guy, he and his team. As he always tells me, they power it, they light it, and they fix it. They offer solutions to you. It's right there with the phone call. You don't even have to, just get them a call, tell them what the issue is, and they'll tell you what they can do. 856-638-0778. That's Battery Plus Bulbs, Mount Laurel, Route 73, Northfield on Tilton Road, 856-638-0778.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dan, people reminding me, by the way, that make sure I get that lobster dinner. Several saying Kamala Harris only won Philadelphia by 390,000 votes, not 500,000 as Bob Brady promised. I don't want to rub it in today. Let's wait a few days and then we'll get him back on. By the way, I've been invited by the great Joe Conklin to introduce him. JoeConklin.com. At my alma mater, St. John Newman, Dan. Apparently, he thinks he heard a couple of good impressions I've done.
No. That's not what he told us.
We'll get him on. That's what it's about, yes.
He was just being, he really said that to you? Like hand to heart, Joe Conklin complimented your...
No, he knows that I went to Newman. It's a homecoming to South Philly.
I was going to say, if you ever heard you're on the waterfront, man.
Yeah. Oh, God, I may have to do that.
Oh, I might have to hear this.
Yeah, I have to work with Jim Kelly on I need him for this. He has to do I do the Michael part, and he does the Godfather part.
Yeah.
It'll bring down the house, right in the introduction. Henry, do you do any impressions?
I think a few. I mean, not off the top of my head.
An angsty mid-20s gentleman.
Yeah, no, I do that one very well.
Yeah.
Very well.
Is there a particular one?
No, not that comes to mind right now. It's got to be like a spur-of-the-moment type thing.
Anytime.
Like any all right. For the rest of the show, and from now on, anytime you do someone that I know I can do, I'll hop in with it.
Okay. All right. We'll be looking for that.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Robert in Ben Salem on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Robert. Welcome in.
Here comes the sun. Do. How you guys doing today, man?
Very well, Robert. A little punchy, but very well.
I was listening to you last night, Dom, and when you said the New York Times reported that Donald Trump was going to win the popular vote, I got a little tinge in my back of my ear there because it's a little too early to talk about my exact predictions yesterday, so I'll have to wait until tomorrow, but I'm feeling good about it. I'm going to go outside the box for the side question. A great comeback to me was the Count of Monte Cristo, a man who was framed for murder and sent to the worst prison in France and ordered to be whipped every year for the rest of his life. It looked like everything was over, but he managed to escape, get his hands on a treasure, and get sweet revenge on everybody who framed him and ruined his life, especially the main character, who he gave the option of shooting himself in the head, and when the guy went to do it, the gun was empty. And he's like, you don't think you're getting off that easy, do you? It was a long book, but it was worth it. It was a really sweet, sweet story to read. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the Count of Monte Cristo, and looking forward to the future, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow or something, and you guys have a great day.
Thank you, Robert. Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, it could be fictional. Everybody loves a comeback.
Was that a throwback Chris Matthews reference he made there, too?
This election, the feeling most people get when they hear a Barack Obama speech, I felt this thrill going up my leg. I don't have that too often.
That's with Keith Olbermann. Steady now. He and Olbermann together. Can you imagine?
Oh, did someone check on Keith today?
Yeah, well, Jimmy Matthews might want to check on, but we have some Chris Matthews sound in the next hour, and it was rational. He should have been on there rather than some of the sycophants of Morning Joe.
Jimmy did call into the Kale and Company show this morning, was fairly rational, but did make a promise in the YouTube chat at one point that he was going to run up the steps, the Rocky steps, in his underwear only, and it's now seemingly backing down from that bet, Dom.
It's Jimmy Matthews, yeah?
Jimmy Matthews, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a case for Larry
Phil
Krasno.
Almquist said he was going to go filming and everything, yeah.
Oh, God. Now he has to say President Trump again for all time.
That's
yes,
true, too.
All time, Jimmy. I will still say Vice President Harris. That's once you get it, that's it.
And if you're just joining us, Jimmy Matthews, regular YouTuber, regular caller onto the show, and nephew of local MSNBC former anchor Chris Matthews.
Absolutely. All right, coming up, Scott Presler. This guy marches through history. Wouldn't come on last night, didn't want to jinx it. He is the big piece here in Pennsylvania. And guess who voted unprecedented numbers? The Amish. Guess who got them out there? Scott Presler. He's next here on Talk Radio 1210.
If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, write this number down or put it into your phone. 800-211-4413. The IRS is hiring more staff and cracking down. Call Tax Relief Helpers now to learn about our tax debt reduction programs and how to stop the collection efforts. If you're facing liens, levies, an audit, wage garnishment, or years of unpaid taxes, even if you're already in a payment plan, we can help. Through special IRS programs, you may qualify to have your tax debts settled for a fraction of what you owe. Tax Relief Helpers has helped thousands of taxpayers qualify for these generous relief programs, earning an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. No matter what amount you or your business owe to the IRS, call our tax relief hotline now for a free consultation and see what savings you may qualify for. Don't tackle the IRS on your own, and don't risk having your wages, Social Security, even your pension seized. Call now. Call 800-211-4413. That's 800-211-4413. 800-211-4413.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo? Because I want to make sure that my searches are private and out of anybody's data profiles. That means the government or any other legal requests, you need to use DuckDuckGo. So they don't track you at all, regardless of what browsing mode you're in. Every time you search on DuckDuckGo, it's actually as if you've never been there before. That's important to me. So they have a 3-in-1 privacy subscription service. It helps protect your personal information from being exploited by hackers, scammers, and privacy-invasive companies. Plus, it's from DuckDuckGo, so you know it's legit. All this for $9.99 a month, and here's an exclusive 7-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then pay $9.99 a month. Again, the subscription at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Now, on Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, here he comes. Is he real? You were at Wildwood at Mulligan's. You met him. He seemed to be real. He seems like we've created him.
I think he's real.
I think he's real.
I don't know if he's not cloned, though, Dom.
That may be it. He's everywhere. Scott Presler back with us here on Talk Radio 1210. I think this is his 1,000th visit, so let's celebrate it very
Scott,
well.
congratulations.
Congrats, man. Scott. People constantly calling in the station today. Get Presler.
We did it, Joe.
Absolutely. And Scott, you wouldn't come on last night. You didn't want to jinx it. I admire that.
No, I was a nervous wreck. I was sitting in my car alone, watching the results pour in, and just sitting there thinking to myself, wait a second, these mail-in numbers look good for us. Am I crazy? And then looking at Allegheny County and going, wait a second, we're approaching 40%. Am I crazy? And then looking at Philadelphia going, wait a second, we're approaching 20% of the vote. You know, that's something that I had just spoken about over and over. 40% of Allegheny County wins the state, wins the election. 20% of Philadelphia wins the state and wins the election. And we flipped Erie. We flipped Northampton. We flipped Bucks County. We won Luzerne handily. We almost flipped Lackawanna, which is Scranton. So far, we flipped Center County at Penn State University. I mean, I can't even explain to you how thrilled I am seeing these years of toil and work come to fruition. And it was a honor the Post last night at 1:30 a.m. Mr. President, I'm pleased to share that we have delivered Pennsylvania. Congratulations.
Oh, God.
That is amazing,
Again,
Scott.
that is amazing. Now, what we touted last night, Scott, what you were watching the results, as soon as I saw the New York Post talk about the unprecedented numbers of the Amish, there's your genius, the issue, the raw milk, freedom of religion, government overreach, but somebody that was able to court that vote, to get in there, get some key players, register them, and get them out. I don't know anybody else that would have had the wherewithal, the skills that you have, the drive to do that.
All right, now we lost him there for a second. Can you ask that again?
Yes, Scott, last night we made big mention. I know you were listening to the results in your car yourself. New York Post, when they reported unprecedented numbers of the Amish coming out, and I know of no one that had the foresight and the skill and the courting ability that you had to get the Amish involved, and it popped last night in Pennsylvania.
I know the majority of the Amish and Mennonite communities are probably not listening to Dom Giordano's talk show right now.
What gives you that impression, Scott?
But to anybody that does have a relationship or that is listening, I mean it sincerely. Thank you for helping to save our country. And Eli Yoder just posted a video talking about how they were keeping this under the wraps, that, you know, they mocked us. They laughed at us. They thought that we were silly. They thought that this was a wild goose chase reaching out to the Amish, and they have no idea. I looked at the numbers. Donald Trump received more votes out of Indiana County than 2020, Armstrong County, Juniata, Huntington, Perry, Lancaster. The Amish did turn out and helped deliver this victory, and I'm forever grateful. And more importantly, I want people to know that now there is a responsibility on our shoulders, that the American people, that Pennsylvanians have entrusted Republicans to lead, to legislate, to protect, to empower. They have entrusted us, and so now really the journey has only begun, and we must be the leaders that we were elected to be.
Scott, Dan has a question for you.
Scott, I want to congratulate you personally, man. Great job. Scott Presler with Early Vote Action here. And Scott, you took it upon yourself. Pretty early on, you recognized the vast importance that Pennsylvania would become. And we saw last night as things shook out that Pennsylvania was indeed the most important state. So, Scott, what was that moment back when you decided to really upstart this Early Vote Action, get involved here in Pennsylvania, uproot your entire life and dedicate your life to traversing the state and registering voters in very, creative locations? The Amish, at the Oaks Gun Show, everywhere. WrestleMania, you had people out at. What was that deciding factor where you thought Pennsylvania was it? That's the state I need to focus on.
Just even going into the 2020 election, there's always been this nagging thing in the back of my head. Go to Pennsylvania. Go to Pennsylvania. Focus on Pennsylvania. Don't stop working on Pennsylvania. And we just never did. And in 4 years' time, we decreased the Democrat voter registration advantage by 300,000 votes. And we flipped Beaver and Berks and Bucks and Lucerne. And we pushed early voting in response to the 2022 debacle. We learned from the mistakes of the past. We learned from the machines going down and running out of paper ballots in Luzerne County. And we used all of our time, all of our talent, all of our skills. We honed them, and we delivered. We delivered Pennsylvania for Donald Trump.
So, Scott, after a breather, I don't know if you do that because I saw you posting yesterday the hospital bed. I think that was from a previous campaign where you were down to 143 pounds or something. My God. What are you thinking about next? What does Scott Presler want to do next?
Sleep.
No, come on now. It's got to be a next. This guy's not like that. He's thinking next. Come on.
I'm a workaholic, and I'll certainly enjoy, 3 days, maybe a week, maybe longer. But I just, I'm a builder. I'm a creator. I'm I'm a man with vision, and I have big hopes and big dreams. 2026 is around the corner.
Yes.
And the governorship is there, 2028, to elect J.D. Vance as the next president of the United States. I mean, I'm always forward thinking. The gears are always turning. But I do want to say that early vote action, we're not going anywhere.
Good.
And this home that I bought here in Pennsylvania, I'm here to stay. And my goal is within the next few years in early vote action, want to Florida, Pennsylvania.
Got your point. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we want to get you to town to celebrate. You can't imagine, Scott, maybe you can, how many people have not met you, just want to
Scott, we stream on YouTube, 1210 WPHT. It's at 1210 WPHT on YouTube. Go like and subscribe if you haven't. Scott, nonstop comments since yesterday as we started see things turn here in Pennsylvania. It was get Scott. This man is the most important man here that we're seeing the play out. From a purely groundwork perspective, strategy perspective, I don't know if there's anybody more important than Scott Presler. So, again, thank you, brother.
Absolutely, Scott.
Well, please, thank you, Dom and Dan. Being a regular voice on your program has been such an incredible strength and honor. And furthermore, let's have a victory party. Let's do an Irish pub somewhere in Philly, or let's go to Mulligan's in Wildwood. But let's take a victory lap.
Oh, exactly.
Take a victory lap.
Sometime
soon.
We're going to talk to the powers that be here and set that up, Scott. You got it. And again, it's just been an honor to see what you do. It's just the stuff you said today. I'm not normal. You're not normal. You're already looking at the governor's race. I couldn't applaud that more. What a waste of talent it would be that you're sunning on a beach somewhere or something.
I don't know. I feel like you should go to Washington and do something with the Trump campaign. Just saying. I mean, they need to recognize.
I think he's the independent force. They just have to give him the resources and get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, and our team is just so awesome. I already have members reaching out to me saying, Scott, I want to go out and register voters today.
Awesome, man.
Good stuff.
To everyone, thank you, Dom. Thank you, Dan, and to all the listeners that have supported our work. Thank you for delivering Pennsylvania. The best is yet to come.
Absolutely. There you go. Scott Presler. Dan, see, I agree on this. Disagree with you. I mean, he's immediately thinking the governor's race. That would mean we have to beat Josh Shapiro. Oh, man. Or he's thinking of J.G. Vance in 2028.
I don't mean to change the subject, man, but how crucial was them not picking Shapiro here?
Well, that's it. We let off with that, and that's absolutely the case. It's the indictment of the Democrat Party. First of all, it's the indictment of Harris that she felt he might overshadow her.
Yep.
Okay. He might. If I were in her position, I would have to say, you know what, that might happen. I'm going to have to do better.
Are you kidding me? He would overshadow her.
Okay. I would put up with that because it's about one thing, winning. He's going to win Pennsylvania potentially. Now, Pennsylvania, Trump won pretty well, but I think it would have been very close with Shapiro, too. He's Jewish, and he was went on the campuses. Democrat Party says we can't have that.
I feel like Kamala's got to look in the mirror at some point, though, and recognize that she isn't the true future of the party, and she might, if she had accepted her role as somewhat of a stepping stone for Josh Shapiro, she could have been sitting there in the White House, but she got her ego in the way, and Dom, 100%, it's the anti-Semitic sect of that progressive party that really ruined them.
All the way down to putting in, now people can see it, this dope. Tim Walz. Radical dope, too.
Chris Farley over here.
Yeah, it's Chris, the jazz hands, the whole thing. I guess that guy's going to run for president next. He's probably there saying now, yeah. And the wife, we're turning the page. It is shocking to see that type of pick. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board, you can jump in. Hit us on the side question. Great comeback.
Hey, wait.
Yes.
Don't mean to bury the lead, but what are your thoughts on Presler throwing out mulligans for a victory party? That would be...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we got to make arrangements. People have to go to Wildwood and all, but, I wish we could have a Mulligan's 2 here. Right? Come on, Johnny, put another place
bring
here.
one over here. Come on.
Put it in South Philly. We can go year-round with this with Mo. And Henry will throw the football 40 yards. I don't know if Scott Presler can throw a football 40 yards, so we'll have to see. You've never seen him in person, right?
No, I haven't.
The long hair, the
I'm
boots.
aware of what he looks like.
And he's like 6'6", too. He's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it is. And they just come up to you constantly. Have you registered to vote yet? Rose, and I told her it's my wife. That's Rose. She's
Just
good.
leave Rose alone. Come on.
Yeah.
She's okay.
You heard him, though.
She's with me.
Let's go register some people. There's got to be a vote somewhere. All right. Scott Presler is the fine of this election. You just can't come up with something. This is what people don't get about talk radio. It's not just the politics, Trump over the finish line. It's the camaraderie. You heard that last night. It's the fun of it. And this guy gets that. He's engaging. He's an entertainer. Your call's coming up, but a little bit later, we'll talk with two other Mount Rushmore. Captain Sean Parnell, who was there when the president was shot.
Felt the bullet whiz by his ear.
And had the dirty work of getting Republicans try to do the mail-in ballot. And then Linda Kearns. Does she deserve a medal? According to Rich Cioli? I don't know about what kind of medal we're giving Linda Kearns. Come on. Just doing desk work. No heavy lifting there.
She deserves a mountain, a carved mountain, a Mount Rushmore.
She's on it.
A Mount Kearnsmore.
She's on the only woman on Mount Rushmore. 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board.
The most important part of your financial future is the firm you choose. You see, all financial firms are not the same. Traditional firms that sell securities can't guarantee income and are vulnerable to bankruptcies, market losses, capital gains taxes, and ongoing fees. But the exclusive crash-proof retirement system continues to protect over 5,000 clients from market losses and bankruptcies and provides guaranteed tax-favored income with the potential for double-digit interest returns with no fees whatsoever. Our one-of-a-kind proprietary system continues to protect billions of dollars in assets. Are you in or near retirement? There's only one crash-proof retirement for the American retiree. Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Upgrade your bathroom with Emmons Remodeling.
We offer custom design, build, renovation services to fit your style and budget. Our designers work closely with you to create the perfect space for you and your family.
Experience luxury and functionality with the expert team at Emmons.
So call us at 856-885-6677. Again, that's 856-885-6677, or visit us at callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered emotion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's Enhanced Network. Learn more at USPS.com/holidayride.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448. 800-525-8448.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-837-5050. That's 800-837-5050. 800-837-5050.
Hey, Ambler. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Follow us anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
Might even grow me a Fu Manchu. And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining.
Tom Giordano program. By the way, several people, I get it, hit me email and such. What about Wally Zimmerlong? Yeah, Wally Zimmerlong played a key role. The all-time federal lawyer in this was in the forefront in these cases. But the 4 that I told you, I would tell you in any of these swing states, there are probably stories. But these are characters. I mean, Jim Worthington and Scott Presler alone are just, you can't make them up. They that they exist, that they're out there doing what they did. You know about Presler and his journey, but Jim Worthington, multi successful. The knack is huge. And yet he drops a lot of that, jumps into the ring, gets attacked by all those progressive forces in Bucks County, and leads the way for President Trump in Pennsylvania. It is a stunning story here of exactly what has happened. But that doesn't stop. Before I take more calls, here's the Reverend Al Sharpton, cut 17. He knows what won the election. Here's the Reverend Al.
Well, Rev, let's talk about, you talked about gender and race. Let's talk about race. Donald Trump fared very well with Hispanic voters, especially Hispanic men. The numbers are coming in still a little early, but I think he did better with black men than was expected in the past. What do you think pushed that, especially with the Hispanic voters going for Donald Trump as much as they did? Because that made a big difference.
I think that a lot of it was he was able to sell a lot of Hispanic voters that immigration was a threat to them, that some of the people coming across the border was a threat to them. I think that we've got to be honest, among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny. And I think that we've got to deal with the reality that he appealed to this whole false macho thing that some black men and some Latino men went for. I think that we cannot sit around just bedwetting. We've got to deal with the reality, and we've got to deal with the situation as it is
there,
in
Mr.
our own communities.
Well,
yeah, well, what's the solution here? That's the Obamas. Scold them, attack them, Michelle Obama, same thing. They're misogynists now. They're racist. They're a whole bunch of things. They don't know what they're doing. Trump, the second gentleman, said he's playing a hustle on young men.
The top post on Reddit, Philly Dom, unbelievable. I have no words. It's hard to have them when not crying. Apparently people are afraid of a woman in power or a woman of color. Floored. I guess just best of luck to us, our daughters, our granddaughters. The erasure is real.
Again, maybe examining the flaws that Harris was never elected to anything other than through California. She was taken under the wing of Willie Brown. You know the story. Then the next rung and the next rung, all progressive, handled. Any time that she had to contest for anything, yes. And Biden stayed in when he shouldn't have stayed in. If it had been Newsom, would it have been closer? Yes, I think it would have been. Or Josh Shapiro. They would have had, this would not have turned out. So it's a candidate. And the other side, how about the theory that Republican policies have always been there for black men, Hispanic men to take a look at? But it takes celebrity, it takes a special touch, charisma, call it what you want, of Trump to open that door toward the policies. He just criticized them there, Sharpton, telling them all these people coming into the country illegally, they're not a threat to you. Oh, really? How do you get that? And these are not white men. We're talking black men and Latino men. This guy's telling them, stop it already, get over yourself. These are people that are in a bubble. They're protected in various ways, like Sharpton, and they're telling others not to tell us about your life. You know, the Martha Raddatz saying only a handful. How many towns? Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Charleroi. How many did we go through from this whole thing that resulted in this? But in the end, figuring out why suddenly it worked, it's pretty simple to me. The policies were always there. And I told you the transgender issue. I wrote about it last week. I put it up on Twitter. You can see the column. I'm going to be on Newsmax. They want to talk about it now over the weekend.
Hey.
The transgender issue, if I were advising Trump on this, and I put it in the column, they spent $33 million on that. The other side can mock us all that they want. What about the border? We already beat you on that. We already beat you on the economy. What the transgender issue does, though, it cuts through. These guys, in my view, when polled, Charlemagne the God is the example, the Breakfast Club in New York, Dan, we played the clip of that guy. She did what? She wanted gender-affirming surgery. We're paying for that for people here illegally that are in jail, and I'm going to pay for that? No. They think, what else is she about then? Maybe the Democrat Party is just way out there. Abortion didn't work that much this time around. The reason is Trump played this well.
Joy Behar was disappointed about that.
Yeah, let's hear Joy Behar. Yes.
Women's health care and abortion is specifically was on definitely one of the cries from the Democratic Party. They were really banking on it, I think. And only 14% of Americans voted for that particular thing.
Yeah, it doesn't get.
Yes. And why is that? Why was it not as big of an issue this time around? And the answer is Trump didn't take the bait like Ron DeSantis. Trump told the pro-lifers, look, we're trying to find a way to go back to the states, let the states decide. That's why. And do you really think that Trump now is going to be on this horse of pro-life to the extreme here where we're going to see abortion bans, national bans? And Lindsey Graham, Dan, they must have chloroformed him or something. He wasn't here this time. Remember the last time?
Yeah.
He starts with that 15-week ban like 2 or 3 weeks before the election.
We did get audio from Lindsey, Dom.
Here's Lindsey.
Hold on. He's still waking up.
I didn't ask for this.
He didn't this time. Thank you, Lindsey. It took a while. He didn't. He was pretty silent this time on this issue. So is abortion, has it lost all its sting? By the way, we're trying to get him on, Dan. I just saw this 99% of the vote in. Scott Perry came back and won his congressional seat, it appears. And he was really down, and he was a big target of Schumer. That's a major seat to keep. It looks that Republicans are going to keep the House. Now, you know how critical that is. If they keep the House, they're going to be able to start now with various policies. I haven't talked about one. What is it we want Trump to do on day one, right out of the box? Well, one of them he can do that's going to be very easy, relatively easy to do, is to stop those killers of whales. In other words, if the feds pull out of this, if they bring in the various federal forces to say, no, we're not going to have this offshore stuff. I don't care what Jersey does. This battle would be fought forever. They're going to pull out. So I would predict that's going to be stopped. Still going to take more work. I haven't talked to Robin Schaefer, maybe tomorrow. But I think Trump clearly is on the side of stopping this. The other thing that you're going to see pretty quickly, and I'm excited for it, even though I don't agree with him on all this, Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to have a major role in health. Now, he got into this really heated argument.
I have that queued up if
you have the lawyer. And I'm not on his side on fluoride. Look, I'm not a hack. Let's take the fluoride out of the water. But I think there's an open question here of new research about fluoride that you at least should take a look at. Here's the exchange with RFK Jr. and a reporter.
Vaughn Hilliard.
Yeah, I've seen this guy going back and forth. And Kennedy arguing he's not going to take fluoride out of water as much as he's going to expose what he thinks are the risks.
A federal judge decision by an Obama-appointed judge on October 4th of this year in which he's just sent EPA back to the drawing board and said, you've never done the safety studies on this. And by the way,
and so what does that look like without debating, without going back and forth on the science?
By the way, it's lowering IQ in our children.
What would you upon January 2025, we're 3 months away here, what would you actually do in your position inside of the White House?
Honestly, out.
And how do you make that happen? This is your chance. That's what you're suggesting to me. How would you make that happen?
Listen to what I'm saying, okay? And then I'll tell you.
Okay.
I think Florida is on the way out because of that court decision. I think the faster that it goes out, the better. I'm not going to compel anybody to take it out, but I'm going to advise the water districts about their legal liability, their legal obligation to their service zones and to their constituents, and I'm going to give them good information about the science, and I think that fluoride will disappear.
All right. Now, look, my stance is on this as we go through with this. It's going to be exciting. Some of the challenges from Kennedy and all. Doesn't mean he's right, though. I mean, I support his right there and what he said to do around this. Do I suddenly, because he says it, say, oh, that's what it is? He talks about lower IQ with kids with fluoride. We've had this debate before. The country went through this debate, I would say, in the 50s. And people were alleging, well, communists want to put fluoride in the water. There's a pretty famous scene in Dr. Strangelove. Dan, I know you haven't seen that. I have to see Back to the Future, too. But Dr. Strangelove, where the general goes nuts and says his essence has been taken away because of fluoride in the water. Henry, you have seen that?
Oh, yeah. That's
General Jack
movie.
T. Ripper. Yeah.
Women sense my power, and they seek the life essence. I do not avoid women, Mandrake. Yeah. But I do deny them my essence.
So fluoride comes up in there. So because Kennedy says it, does that make it true? No. We told you about the McDonald's thing when he talked about the seed oils versus the beef something.
Tallow.
Tallow. And that part made sense to me of why the tallow might be superior to it.
Now, what Kennedy needs to do, Dom, he needs to get Big Pharma under control. They have spun out of absolute control since Obamacare, really just let them run reckless. And then after COVID, it's almost like we're handing them hand over fist money, which allowed pharmaceutical ads to skyrocket on your television just because they have that kind of money to spend. And it's exploding the pharmaceutical industry. And I think someone needs to take a deep, deep look at what's going on there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. This is a case-by-case thing. But you're going to have to go a long way with me with fluoride because I have a sense we've been down this road before, and I'm not compelled by the argument yet. He doesn't say he's going to ban it, take it out, whatever, but there's going to be quite a debate. Literally, to Dan's point, if he is in charge of health, you're going to see a debate a day. That's how big this is going to be. And some of it is long coming. Some of it, I'm not going to bend just because, that's Kennedy Jr. on this. Doesn't make him right on this. And fluoride, I don't think is one of them. The pharmaceutical, yeah. How have we gotten to that point? The other thing I'll say, Dan, he's a little bit taking Americans off the hook with kids that are fat and stuff like this and saying we can't help it. That's ridiculous. Come on. I'm still in the camp that thinks kids don't run around enough, not enough playtime, not enough of that. He would argue it's mostly just what's in the food. Okay, we're going to see on a case-by-case basis what he does. It's going to be exciting. Who else might be in the cabinet? We hear for Secretary of State Tiffany Justice, Moms for Liberty, or Ryan Walters, the guy that heads up the schools in Oklahoma. Those two are more controversial than Robert Kennedy Jr., if possible. If one of them is the Secretary of Education, oh, my God, what this is going to be like. Attorney General, a little bit unsure at this point. There could be a million candidates. All that we know is Chris Christie is not going to be anything. And Chris Christie lost $5 yesterday. He bet for Harris. Coming up, Sean Parnell with us here on Talk Radio 1210. Let's talk about Dr. Bentz, though. My friend, dentist for years, board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. Now, Dr. Bentz is set apart from other dentists by a lot of things. And recently I had this 20-minute conversation with him, and we're playing some of the question and answers back and forth. But he recognized You can be a great dentist, great skill, great instincts, great bedside manner. But boy, if you have the proper technology, and some of this is world class, like that 3D printer, then you're going to be more consistent. You're going to be more precise. Think about that. Think about all the lack of the time it takes, the inconvenience. And the dentist is really good, but they just don't have the proper cutting edge equipment. They can't be as consistent. That's what he is, state-of-the-art equipment. And John, who works on your teeth too, what they do is they have an open case. They don't ship stuff out. He's working on it. Dr. Bentz, between patients, pops upstairs, see what he has, see the progress on this. You just can't beat this type of dental care. It's the perfect blend. So why not get that initial evaluation? Check it out with Dr. Bentz and the team, the Bentz Dental Group, solutions for even the most complex cases. If that's you, or just garden variety, this is where you want to go. My Dentist. Call him now. Make that appointment, 610-272-6949, or visit BentzDentalGroup.com. That's 610-272-6949. Bentz Dental Group. Say it with a smile.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. Call 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100. 800-290-7100.
Hey, it's Rich Ziola. You know how important privacy is to me. I've been telling you for years, right? I don't want the government tracking me. I don't want companies tracking me. That's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Privacy Pro is a 3-in-1 subscription service. It includes DuckDuckGo VPN. Gotta have it, especially when you're on the road. Personal information removal. I don't want any of my personal information on the internet. And identity theft restoration. 3 features for the price of 1. And it's from DuckDuckGo. Subscribers get a service that will help you restore your identity if it is stolen. This is unbelievable and so essential in this day and age. Now, here's what you do. You go to duckduckgo.com/1210. You get a week on us. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Exclusive 7-day free trial. Then pay only $9.99 a month. This is privacy that you need. Privacy Pro. And listen, personal information removal. This way nobody knows anything about you. This is what you need in this day and age. Trust me. Privacy Pro. DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Sign up now.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Do you know when the best time to buy investment properties is? It's now. It's always now. You just need to learn how to buy them correctly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night and learn how to buy investment properties and make money every time. That's right. That's what we teach. We teach how to buy investment properties and make money every time. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now. Take a class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Don't go through life ignorant about how to become a millionaire. Learn how to invest in real estate, the stock market, precious metals, and learn from an expert. At Investor Schooling, we teach these things and more. We only provide education, and we will teach you how to leverage real estate, how to leverage the stock market, and how to leverage precious metals to make more money than you've ever made before. Go to investorschooling.com and take a complimentary class this Thursday. We will see you there. investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
Looking for the confidence to walk away from the 9-to-5? Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Freedom Care, we're here for
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Mount Rushmore series continues here on the Dom Show. We had on Jim Worthington, the fundraiser, Scott Presler, the guy that stepped into our lives like out of a movie, and an American hero who was there with President Trump when he was shot and served us, protecting us in the military extraordinarily well, given the hardest job of all, convince these Republicans to do mail-in balloting. Oh, man, that is a tough mission. There's a hill up there. Yeah, but there's a lot of fire coming at me here. Let's go to Captain Sean Parnell. Captain, welcome back to Philadelphia. Congratulations. You were on our Mount Rushmore of the people that won Pennsylvania, and you had the hardest task of all.
And my friend, we did it. We won Pennsylvania, and we saved this country. It was the first of the Rust Belt states to fall, which gives you a sense of just how decisive the victory was here for President Trump. It was historic, man. It was absolutely historic. Obviously, you can probably hear this from the sound of my voice. I haven't slept. I'm going on 24 hours with no sleep, but I couldn't sleep if I wanted to.
Hey, I did this when I was breaking into radio. My advice is calm that down. Don't do that too much. I came to fill in a big show after not sleeping for a day, and I saw green things flying around. And I told myself, uh-oh, you better be cautious here. You might say anything. But you had the tough job, and we saw it play out, the compromise in Bucks County last week, ferociously. People say, okay, we'll vote by mail-in ballot, but we're going to do it right there. And you offered that. You pitched that. We brought people along with this, and in the end, that really helped.
Yeah, listen, and I'll give you the inside scoop on the whole plan now, because guess what? We already won this thing. But this is something that we built and we started planning, Dom, 18 months ago. And then after that, we raised $16 million for the effort. No joke, to get this job done. And what we built was an early vote operation and a vote-by-mail operation that rivaled that of the Democrats. It was a constellation of different Republican groups, a bunch of young staffers and great American patriots who all had a vision that just something needed to change in Pennsylvania. After 2022, we didn't adapt to the rules as they were on the political battlefield. And I knew back then that if we don't change, if we don't shift fire, we will cede this state to the left probably for the next 100 years, and come hell or high water, there's just no way I was going to let that happen. And so the plan was simple: build a machine that rivals that of the Dems, but told my staff, no one speaks of this. No one talks about it. There's not a media arm.
Yep.
Yeah, right. The reason for that is I wanted the Democrats to be complacent. I wanted them to think that we were a mess like they normally did. And guess what? By the time the returns started coming in and we actually started talking about it more, it was too late. It was too late. And we cut into their firewall by 700,000 people. And I knew that, hey, the Democrats are going to have to turn out these 700,000 plus people on Election Day, and I don't know if they're going to have the muscle memory to do it. And we all see how that played out.
Exactly. And this compromise that people gravitated toward, Sean, where, all right, they're going to vote by mail, but they're going to do it there in person, et cetera. Hopefully the next time around, because I had a good experience with doing this. It was hard for me. I always like voting on Election Day, but that's immaterial to the one thing we have to do, winning. And I think Republicans for now know that this might be a couple more cycles until we win and we can dismantle having to do this someday in the near future. We're going to have to continue this operation. So What are you looking to do now, Sean, after this? I mean, it had to be exhausting. You're on no sleep. What do you want to do next?
I'm not stopping.
Okay.
This is one victory of a battle in the much larger political war to save this country. My mission is to dismantle the entire communist, leftist, perverted Democrat movement. I come from a family of Union Democrats. This party is not that. And so my pledge to the people who are listening right now, Shapiro and Fetterman will be the last statewide elected Democrats in Pennsylvania, because we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to close the voter registration ads. We're going to continue to get better at banking early votes and vote by mail. And then I'm going to expand this exact same program to Wisconsin, to New Hampshire, and New Jersey, and we're going to go on offense and start taking blue states back.
Well, Jersey, I think, definitely in play here with the governor's race coming up. This is one that's winnable. And we saw, Sean, I know you were busy with Pennsylvania last night, but in Jersey, the lines were hard to believe. Stunning.
Yeah, we play the game better in those states. We have to start thinking. We have to start thinking and going on offense. I'm tired of the Republican Party being a speed bump and just playing defense and just reacting to the Democrats. No, that we need to be default aggressive and continue to improve here in Pennsylvania, expand to Wisconsin, expand to Michigan, expand to New Jersey, and go after the Democrats on their own turf to get them playing defense. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Now, will you have to kill me if I ask you this question and you answer? Have you heard from the president? Have you heard from the president yet?
No, but I do know that Don, his son, hasn't slept in 3 days. So I was with him. Listen, the guy's crazy. Like, the guy's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm with him there. Gives a 2.5-hour speech there.
Oh my
God! Flies
God!
to Michigan. We have the kids there, Dom, and we show the kids. The kids are like, "Oh my gosh, this is taking forever." We showed kids a video of Eric and Don speaking in Michigan at 2:00 in the morning, and I said, "Just be glad you're not in Michigan. You could be up there in Michigan."
Yeah.
But the guy doesn't stop, and so I think he's probably resting right now, and well deserved.
Absolutely. Sean, please stay in touch.
You rest too, Sean.
Whatever you want to do, that's what we want to hear about.
Hey, I'm with you to the end, Got your back 100%.
Thank you, Captain. Thanks, Sean Parnell.
All right, see you guys.
Yeah, Don Jr., not sleeping in 3 days. Right. Oh, these guys, where did they get that from? I mean, I wouldn't endorse that.
Hereditary.
All right, coming up, the last piece in the Mount Rushmore of who won Pennsylvania.
Just got what you're saying.
She doesn't deserve a medal. Linda Kearns will be next, and then we're going to talk with the Attorney General, the elected Attorney General, Dave Sunday. What's he going to do about old Larry, who's up for election this time, and Philadelphia? All that unfolds in Dom's Money Melody, Talk Radio 1210.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0, dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty, that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out.
I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey, Southampton. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all,
you got it, Tom. You got it.
It's horrible. Stop it. Who do you have?
He's spitting it out there, Tom.
Who is that?
You're kidding me. Who is that? Linda, tell Dom who that is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hear it now. Yeah, it's. You know what? I love Elvis, just for the record, but even he can't do it. That song was proof of it. I'm just not in the mood for it.
I can't. Wait. You're down on Elvis? What's going on here?
Nobody can do the Sinatra song. Even Elvis, as much as I love him too.
Wait, hold on a second, Tom. What got me through this election was being able to listen to Elvis. It's the only thing that calms me down. I was listening to him day and night as I was at my desk working on all this stuff. So you need to thank Elvis for delivering Pennsylvania for Donald Trump.
Down to the grade, Dom.
Now, Dan, that medal that we had in the drawer there, rescind that. Just keep that for our next election. The order.
Take that up with Rich, Dom.
The order of the palm of Zioli, or maybe it's in the form of a pizza that Zioli said she deserves a medal on Twitter. I guess so. I guess we can. She's on Mount Rushmore, the only female that's ever made it to the Mount Rushmore of this. So, Linda, how about your sleep quotient? We've heard all kinds of macho things about absolutely no sleep. How about you today? How are you doing?
I am really, 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 really tired. Yeah, I mean, like everybody else, I've barely gotten any sleep, probably in the last week. Because even when you get a chance to go to sleep when you're involved in a campaign like this, your mind is totally racing, and people are calling you all throughout the night. They're texting you throughout. I love the music.
At radio station.
Well, think of the things we've been through. The Kamala Harris poster, the thing I sent you yesterday with the woman who was the intermediary for doctors in a hospital out there. They're going to put this stuff on their lunch table, patients who may be very, very sick. But in the heat of it, the other side, unless I missed it, did not do anything major that got by you guys, right?
I would hope not. I mean, that was my job to make sure that didn't happen. Look, elections are always a little bit messy, even in the best of circumstances. But Dom, we were ready. I spent the last year recruiting poll watchers, poll workers, and lawyers, and we had a call center yesterday with dozens and dozens and dozens of lawyers answering the phone for people all across the Commonwealth, and we were able to answer that phone and help voters. And my role in this last year was election integrity. I needed to keep this election safe, but I also needed to educate voters so they had trust in the process. You can ask a voter to vote only so many times before they say, wait a minute, I need to trust this process. And that was the role of the election integrity team.
That's the big goal, Linda. I get kind of tired. I understand of these people. I don't even know why I'm going to vote. I'm depressed and all. Look, we know what's happened. We know all those things. But see that this was a different time here, that we're much better, we're ready, and this is going to continue.
Right. And look, we need to change our laws in Pennsylvania. We need the Secretary of State to, I think, do a better job administering these elections giving guidance to these counties, so we do need change. And leading up to yesterday, we had to work within the system that we had. There was very little you could do to change it. Obviously, we could file lawsuits and stuff, but for real systemic change, you need the legislature to do that. And I hope that happens. I hope that our legislature can look at this and say, look, we really need to tighten up these laws so all these fiascos don't happen.
Yeah, and the biggest to me is our people compromised now are willing to show up and do mail-in ballot in person. The judge says, yeah, if they're in line, you serve them. We got to stop Bucks County walking around, strutting around to me, and still denying people their right in a reasonable way. Kind of surprised the judge didn't say, that's it, I'm coming over there or something, Linda.
Well, the problem with how our mail ballot system works is when you go in to request it, they have to print it up for you because everyone's mail ballot is different depending on where you live. It takes time, and these election offices, they are just not equipped to do that, to handle long lines of people because they have other things to do in administering the election. So something has to change with how that process works so that doesn't happen again. I obviously would love to see that we all vote on election day with a limited excuse mail ballot system, like if you're sick or have to be away for work or school, like it was before. We may not ever get that again, but we really, really, really have to tighten up these laws if we're going to have smoother elections going forward in Pennsylvania.
Surprised yesterday at that Philadelphia seemed to do this pretty well. We're going to get a result this morning. I'm a little bit discouraged. Do you have anything on why we don't have the McCormick result yet? I'm getting a little antsy with that because it's pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, it's close. So what we're doing right now is I still have people at the mail ballot canvases, the ones that are still counting. So I have people out there and they're observing. Actually, I have my brother. I dragged him out. He's at the Montgomery County one observing for me. I basically kind of got everyone I knew to be involved. So we're watching the ending of the counting, but then the next step is provisional ballots. Those are the ballots that we talked about a lot, that if you went to the polling place and you couldn't vote on the machine. So all the counties are announcing when they're going to start to look at those. They have to check them to make sure the voter is registered, to make sure that the voter also didn't, the Shore systems didn't say that they had voted previously. So that all is going to take place in the next few days. Then there's going to be the challenges. Those are the challenges to whatever happened with the mail ballots, like if the mail ballot didn't have a date or didn't have a signature. Right. And then there's going to be the adjudication of the provisional ballots. So all this is normal stuff. This is the design of the election code. It's not like we're making up litigation. This is all the normal stuff. But when you have a race like McCormick's, which is a little bit closer, you need to make sure that there aren't enough ballots out there that could change that delta. So that's what we're working on now. And it looks really good for McCormick now. But, we're not, as you know, with me, and I've said this before on your show, we're not leaving anything on the table. We're still swinging. I told you before, I swing as hard in the 9th inning as I do in the 1st, but now we're in the 10th inning, and I'm still swinging.
You absolutely are. And again, you're made for talk radio. We've been through that. You just have the verb for it, the back and forth, that type of stuff. All in good humor.
Wait, Dom, you didn't get don't report to work on Monday. It's the Linda Kern show. Nobody told you? Wait, am I breaking the news on your show?
You were supposed to hold. We were going to tell him after the show.
Okay, I think that's a fraudulent. That is.
Now he's going to do the rest of the show knowing this. Linda.
Yeah, and I need Trump on this. This is too big to rig. Something like that. But
Dom, they're going to perp walk you out of there. Nobody told
I have an idea. Why don't you hire Linda Kearns as your attorney?
There you go. Of course, that's conflict of interest. And that medal, that's on hold. I'll let the Zioli show provide that medal.
Okay.
All right, Linda.
All right.
Thank you. We'll talk soon. Thanks, Linda, very much.
Bye-bye.
All right, there's Mount Rushmore. Linda Kearns, Sean Parnell, Scott Presler, Jim Worthington. The 4 characters we brought that really brought this home. There are others, but that's the ones we know and the ones that Don Jr. hadn't slept in 3 days. Oh, my God. Eric Trump at 2 o'clock in the morning going on for 2 hours. What the heck? I don't know if that's effective at a rally, but it worked. All right, coming up, we're going to meet Dave Sunday again. He was on the show once. He is the new Attorney General. Remember, we know winning at the presidential level is one thing, but the people that are elected right in our backyard, the power that they have, a.k.a. Larry Krasner, who went after Elon Musk. He's probably still chasing him right now. Dave Sunday's next. We'll find out what he's going to do on Talk Radio 1210 and Dom's Money Melody. Hey, one of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements. Black Friday sale is here. And right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity, cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and so much more. And one more thing, this Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call that Rescue product consultant, 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during the entire month of November. So why wait? Shop the massive savings on essential supplements. One place to go, res-q.com.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
This Merrill Reese update is brought to you by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Going into the season, one of the major question marks was about the linebacking. It's become a strength. The Eagles picked up a free agent linebacker who had played with the Saints for 4 years. Vic Fangio believed Zach Bond could succeed as an inside backer, and boy was he right. He was phenomenal Sunday. Jacoby Dean had injury problems the first 2 years, and now he is flying all over the field making plays. The latest, the game-saving interception that beat the Jaguars. With the Eagles, this is Merrill Reese.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows you can't afford to miss. Get started today and unlock our library of over 75,000 movies and shows. And save all your favorites with the unlimited DVR so you can rewatch them anytime, anywhere, for up to a year. Philo now includes access to AMC Plus. You can discover your next obsession from its collection of hit originals like Mad Men, The Walking Dead, Killing Eve, Orphan Black, and tons of blockbuster movies. There are no contracts, no commitments, and no hassles. For just $28 a month, Philo's a better way to watch TV. So what are you waiting for? Visit philo.tv and sign up today to start your 7-day free trial. That's PHILO.TV.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, we're coming to your calls here shortly, particularly on the side question today. What else? Great comebacks. Tim Murtaugh is a Philly area guy, Delco, and Danny Murtaugh, if you remember that name, I certainly do, the Pirates skipper, manager, and one of the senior communications people for the Trump campaign. I want to find out from him. Hey, Tim, welcome back to town. Thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, I appreciate it. I am so happy to be back with you on the day after the great day that we had last night.
Tim, were you a bit surprised by this? I mean, polls are polls. We knew the Iowa poll, how frivolous that was. But this was shocking, apparently, to win or contend for the popular vote. To see some of the things in states, to see it called that early was remarkable. Did you guys have an inkling? In other words, you're sitting around saying, if this happens, then it's going to break our way pretty big.
You know, I was having conversations like that over and over again last night at the headquarters with a bunch of reporters as time was going on and we were getting close to the point where it was going to be a done deal. Like we were inching forward and I was still saying, you know, it's like talking about a no-hitter while the pitcher still has it going on. I don't want to talk about it. But we did have an idea because we have been telling people that for the last 3 weeks of the campaign, we, in our own internal polling, showed Donald Trump winning all 7 battleground states. And it had been that way for 3 weeks. And we weren't staying quiet about it. We had told people, told the media. We released our polls in a memo on one Friday saying, hey, our own internal numbers show that he's winning. So we certainly believe that if we were correct, that a significant victory and sweeping all 7 battleground states was certainly one of the possibilities. And so when it all came through, we thought, you know, if these numbers are correct, if we are correct, if what we believe is true, then all of this was possible. And it turns out we were, in fact, correct. Our numbers were right, and so this was one of the distinct possibilities, and that's the way it worked out.
Was there something that triggered that, though, at that point? You said 3 weeks out, et cetera. What was it that triggered it? Or is it just decision time and people finally made a decision?
You know, I don't know that there was any individual event that was the pivot point, but I will tell you when I began to think about it as a wave that was approaching that I didn't think anybody would be able to stop was the day when he went to that McDonald's in Bucks County.
Yes.
And I'm serious. I'm not joking. And it was not the act of making French fries or manning the drive-through window.
Right.
It was what happened outside that McDonald's on the streets approaching the restaurant that happened spontaneously. There were 10,000 people lining the sidewalks of the road that approached that McDonald's on both sides of the street, like 10 people deep on both sides of the street for blocks. 10,000 people. We didn't build that crowd. We didn't drive turnout there. It was organic. It was spontaneous because the local newspaper had reported that he was going to be there making French fries and manning doing a shift at McDonald's. And so the people just turned out. And it occurred to me when I saw that video, I wasn't there on that trip, but when I saw that video, that it had been a 9-year effort to that point for the Democrats, where every day when they woke up, their message of the day, every single day, was that Donald Trump was a bad man for whatever reason they were picking that day, all the way up to, you know, he's Hitler incarnate, all the way down to mean tweets. It was their central message all day long, every single day for 9 years. They tried to make it a thing that you should be ashamed of if you supported Donald Trump, that you should never, ever speak his name in public. It is a mark of shame to wear a red MAGA hat. They tried to turn that into a white nationalist symbol. All these different things. They tried to drive people into the shadows if they supported Donald Trump. But on that day in Bucks County, when 10,000 people came out to show their support, not just their support, their love for Donald Trump, I knew that the Democrats had failed. After 9 years, they had failed, and I thought, this is really something. That was eye-opening to me, and then I thought, you know what? We are actually going to win this.
Tim, we went back to Jim Worthington went with me over there. He paid for about an hour at that McDonald's. This was even, within the last 10 days. Hundreds of people turned out. They didn't want the food. They paid for it themselves. They just wanted to be there together in the spot where Trump was with the fryer. They had been in the crowd outside, and they wanted to see it. That told me something again. Come on, it's a McDonald's in Feasterville. They wouldn't let us near the fryer. The guy got upset I was interviewing people there. It didn't matter, though. They were that fired up around this. Tim, Latino men, is there any pivot point or any particular issue? Is it the economy / the kind of persona of Trump, those two things put together?
What attracted Latinos to him in big numbers, is what you're talking about? Yeah, well, I think, it's a lot of the messaging was very consistent, and I think Democrats really don't understand how it is that they can expect to talk to people and get them to see things their way. Democrats, I think, one, they help us by turning off certain voter segments, voter demographics, because I think for a long time Democrats have believed that in order to win over Latino voters, all they have to say is Donald Trump and immigration, and they think that wins the argument. Because
but let me ask you, Tim, I was always afraid of that. Now, you go back away, and I go back to the Bush years, and Bush was the other way on the border. I always thought, how are we going to win on this border thing with a wide swath of voters, particularly Latinos, the fastest-growing voting bloc? And it seems like you guys figured out how to message this, and they bought it, that it's not in their interest to have open borders.
Yeah, well, you don't have to message it any particular way, and it's not any different from how Donald Trump talks about it normally, no matter who he's talking to. Latinos, just like everybody else, believe that people should follow the law, especially as it regards immigration policy. But then internally, the way that we have found the Latino voters internalize it is that, if they're hearing it and they're saying, you know what, my family, whether it's generations before them, my family came to this country by the correct legal means, and we followed the rules. Do I think that everybody else should also have to follow those rules? You bet. You bet I think everybody should have to follow the rules. And Democrats think that they can just take a shortcut and use the immigration issue as yet another reason to demagogue Donald Trump, and it doesn't work. Because Latinos don't see it that way. But the Democrats are imposing their own views on it and assuming that Latinos see things the same way. On top of that, the Latino community is very conservative culturally and socially. And the message about how, and it turned out to, I think, be a very powerful weapon across a lot of different voter blocs. The fact that Kamala Harris supported spending taxpayer money to give sex change operations to prison inmates and illegal aliens who are being detained. That's something that people just can't even believe that she was forced. In fact, some media fact-checked it when Donald Trump brought it up in the debate there in Philly. Time magazine fact-checked it as false and said, no, she doesn't support that. It sounds so ludicrous that they didn't even bother to check it. They just declared it was false because they said, well, that's not even believable. But it was true.
And Tim, I got excited when you're on the show. I'm glad you got ahead of my next question. I wrote my last column on this. Yeah, the economy. Yeah, the border. This issue, when I learned you guys had spent over $30 million on it, I thought I would have spent $50 because I saw Charlemagne the God's Breakfast Club, and they were saying that can't be true. They did it live on the air, and when they fact-check it, that's what she did, and she wouldn't back away from it. They went, wow, I don't like that. I'm not going to go with that. It was a tell. It cut into the whole thing, that issue.
Yeah, exactly right. And then, of course, the overarching issue for every voter group was the economy.
Right.
And, Latinos and women and black people and whoever you are. A good economy is good for everybody. People don't like high inflation, and we just always thought that this election set up so well because everyone has lived through both administrations. The economy was great under President Trump. There was no inflation. The border was secure. The world was at peace. Under Kamala Harris, the economy was terrible. Inflation is through the roof. There was no southern border practically, and the world itself is on fire. It's a very simple message. Kamala Harris broke it. Donald Trump will fix it. That's what we settled on. And her closing message was, I still don't like Donald Trump, No,
you know what? I think when you arrived at that message, it resonated. It was a great summary. It is very simple, and we had easier what happened in the Trump years. It made it a lot easier versus some guy telling you what he's going to do. He's already done it. So kudos all the way around. Great campaign, great close, and the results, I got to say, we were stunned by, Tim. So thank you. And again, I hope we'll talk very soon as we get ready for other things.
You bet, Dom. Thank you very much. And I really have appreciated coming on your show and other stations on the 1210. It's been really great. As a Delaware County guy, Ridley High School, class of 1987, Temple University, huge Eagles fan. I love take every opportunity when they say, hey, do you want to do Philadelphia radio again today? I'm like, yes, get me on the radio.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Hey, agrees with the column again. Well ahead of the curve there. You see that up on Twitter, what I wrote for the Delaware Valley Journal, the sleeper issue. And the reason is it's not just a transgender thing. It cuts across and it shows how radical they are. Side question, all-time comeback is what we're looking for today. Let's go to Alan in Hamilton on Talk Radio 1210. What's your comeback, Alan?
Well, I remember some 40 years ago, there was a switch made on WWDB where Bernie McCain left, and there was a young man there who was a substitute, and he felt he should be on there, but instead they put Joe McDonald on, representing the NAACP. But the young man won his argument, and he's there with you today.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Alan. Very nice of you to say. Man, that's quite a history.
I didn't know we had a historian in the audience here.
Yes, that's true.
Cool, man. I didn't know that.
It was for a brief period of time.
Yeah.
And sadly, Dan, it's my first time full-time overnight, right? Major station. He has people call in and block the phone lines up, or somebody did. I'll put it that way. Oh, my God.
Come
and the
on.
producer that I had gets his car repossessed in the parking lot fighting with them during the show.
Really?
It was a heck of a...
Wow.
After you do that, nothing bothers you. You know what I mean? So I'm sure Rich...
I wish we had audio of it.
Oh, yeah.
Fly on the wall moment.
I'm just looking at all these lit phone lines going, will this ever end? All right, that's a good one. Let's go to Joe in Bordentown. Joe, what's your comeback?
When the Russians first put the man into space, and the United States came back and beat him to the moon.
Exactly. That's Kennedy. That's looking forward to it. That's what I think a Trump would do. That's what presidents should do. He set that goal. We did beat them to the moon. Yeah, Sputnik. People were shocked. They're looking at the Philadelphia public schools. Are they not teaching kids anything? Yeah, well, it's still like that today. Somehow or another, we still beat the Russians to the moon, though.
Yeah.
Let's take...
Takes a quarterback to fund air conditioning.
Yeah. Let's take one more here with John in Westchester. All right, today the comeback. John, what's yours?
Hi, Dom, Dan, Henry, and Jimmy. Mine is goes way back to the founding of our country in December of 1776, with the Continental Army about to disband as their enlistments were about to expire. George Washington leads them across the Delaware River, defeats the Hessians at Trenton, goes up to Princeton Junction, defeats another detachment of dragoons up there, and saves the revolution. And America is given the opportunity to expand and for Donald Trump to win the 47th presidency.
Thank you, John. Well put. When you go to Valley Forge and you think of what that was like, it's amazing they got through that. And to catch the Hessians kind of partying Christmas Eve and attack them going across the Delaware in rowboats.
Good answer.
Yeah, good answer.
My mind's still wide open, though, for callers to call in with their answer, because nothing's really sticking out to me from the side questions so far.
Well, you were impressed by my Russians coming back against the Nazis, or Henry's Barton versus Winona State.
Yeah, Winona State.
Whenever you hear
D2
state
basketball.
at the end of some place, it's not like Arizona State, like Winona State. You go, what the heck is going on?
I don't even know where the school.
Henry, mascot for Alcorn State.
Braves.
Wow.
All right, there you go. We'll test him. You can test him at any time when you
mascots.
call in. Just say a place, and he'll give you the
Division
mascot.
I.
All right, let's take one more, and then it's Dom's Money Melody. Let's go to the master of his own brand, Joe in Exton. Joe, good afternoon. What do you have today?
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon. The Japanese conducted a devastating attack on Pearl Harbor, which awoke a sleeping giant who then directed an even greater attack on mainland Japan by means of a hydrogen bomb.
That is quite a comeback.
It's a nuclear comeback.
It's a yes, he's nuking them there, Joe.
It's a
That's
big one
exactly
there,
right.
Jim. Or
And the Manhattan Project, I can't read enough about it. The idea that they could conceive this across the country and do it, amazing. So is Joe of Exton. But right now, it's time for
Money Melody.
That is right. Today we're playing for a $50 gift card to the Melting Pot. Are you down to fondue? Melting Pot is offering an all-new down to fondue happy hour.
Down to fondue.
That's right. It's available at the bar. Enjoy half-off cheese and chocolate fondue. Dates. I like chocolate, not the cheese. Dates and times
Why
will
don't you
vary.
like the cheese?
Because I think of the lactose intolerant out there, and they can't have it. So
Oh,
I'm
you're
not gonna
so
have it.
nice.
That's very nice.
You know,
That's the
speaking
thing.
as a lactose intolerant
I know you
person,
are,
it's-
among other things.
It's okay,
yes.
Dom. You can like your cheese.
All right. Dates and times may vary. Visit meltingpot.com for details.
Yeah, Dom. So today we're talking about your Mount Rushmore of who deserves it for their what they did for the election.
Yes.
This person, Dom, a regular guest on our show, provides a cover song for us today. One huge clue there. And Dom, she is one of those people that really emerged. She's been in the political scene because she's very close to what's going on here. But she really emerged recently and became a star this past election. Should be on a Mount Rushmore somewhere for what she did, Dom. Take a listen. We want to know who this cover artist is singing a song about what she did, essentially, here.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground.
Really came out this election, Dom.
I remember when this came out, not too much of a clue, and I remember the criticism, not so much of the singing.
I think it's
but
pretty good.
I think it is too.
And the message now, too, particularly?
Yeah, exactly. But the criticism was, aren't we a bit distracted here?
Understandable.
That was the
yeah,
thing.
but now looking back, it's great to have this, to be honest.
Oh, this is one of the, that'll be too much of a clue. Yeah. All right, who is singing that? Finally, I got one today. Well, I think I did. I don't know. Dan was whispering on my ear the moment it was going to my brain. Isn't that? Yes. 855-839-1210. Hit us with that. You are off to the melting pot. Jump in at 855-839-1210. Here with Dom and Dan and Henry.
Back down. Hey, baby. There ain't no easy way out.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Sticking to the fundamentals and not wavering from the game plan is a great philosophy for football and banking. And for nearly 160 years, the dedicated PNC teams are in formation to help fans receive sound and reliable, personalized financial advice to get them across the goal line. Because as they see it, a win for them is a win for the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system.
Keep free speech alive. Follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's exactly right. Finally, a pretty good cover song today. Here is the clue. Tell us who's singing this.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
All right, let's try Bill in Downingtown here to go off to the melting pot. Bill, who's singing it?
That's going to be Lara Trump.
Very nice. It is Lara Trump, too. It's hard to say versus Laura. Lara Trump. I should have said to her, it's Dom with an M. Lara with an R. She never
allowed to get her wrong there.
She's good
Get
about
the name
that.
right. D-O-M.
Yeah, it is Lara. Sometimes we forget and we, slur it. Bill, nicely played. It is Lara Trump. And Dan, when she did that, the thing was, really, she's heading up the RNC. Isn't this a distraction? Seems to me she worked unbelievably and really was the first one to talk about the mail-in ballot way back when, it seems like over a year ago, and how that needs to be done and push that to the level that
I mean, how many years were we here on conservative radio complaining about the lack of a good strategy, ground game from a national RNC?
Right.
Watley, Lara Trump enter into the role, Tom. Things completely changed. We got lawyers out there taking on election integrity. So much stuff that Lara and Michael brought to this, Tom, that they really deserve some recognition.
Yeah, very good blend. Very good blend. And once she did that day to day, she really grew in the role, without a doubt. It is Lara Trump here on Talk Radio 1210. By the way, Vice President Harris has called President Trump, it's being reported, conceding. And I think, around Rizzoli time at 4 o'clock, she'll be making a concession speech or talking about that today.
Yeah, they're setting up a teleprompter in the stage right now. So
yeah,
we'll be monitoring that here on 1210.
Here's the point. When you start to go Hitler and you start to go fascist, it makes it very hard to make a call, be civil. And look, elections are rough stuff. I can't even imagine a presidential election. And I feel for the people that have to make that concession, have to make that call. That's just got to be excruciating. I'm the one that says after games, I get it, little kids being good sports and all, saying nice game, but sometimes it's so painful to have to show up and shake hands and to go through that line. Ugh. But to do this, it's your life. I mean, it's your life. There's no comeback ordinarily from getting this nomination. She's not going to be that again in any universe that I can see. Same thing with Hillary. So this has to be incredibly painful. I'm not gloating with her, but when you say fascist, when you go down that path, sometimes you say Hitler, then it just makes this very, very, you just can't go there. In New York, the Attorney General is continuing. She's there with Hochul. They're prepared to fight back once again. Now, the Justice Department, it looks like, is going to wind down the case even before Trump gets in And the Department of Justice with the federal cases says, never mind, let that go. That'll happen. The state case is going to be won on appeal by Trump. But in the meantime, the attorney general there and the governor, who's more obnoxious by the day, they're going to continue. They just held a news conference prepared to fight back once again. And the lawfare thing, we know every time they did it, how much it helped Trump. And what did they gain in the end with this ill-conceived plan of lawsuit after lawsuit, et cetera? Well, they sort of removed Trump from the campaign trail some days. Remember that in New York? But they enraged people. They brought more people in to say, no, this is ridiculous. You got to beat this guy fair and square. This is overkill, particularly the New York case, I think. And then when they saw just how bad they are in Atlanta, how ridiculous that is, that backfired. Jack Smith is the only guy who's competent, but he comes across as someone just piling on, which he is.
You want some Tish James?
Yeah, here's some Tish James. Here is the worst of all, though, Attorney General. And we're going to talk about these type of lawyers like Larry Krasner and Letitia James in New York with the new Attorney General, Dave Sunday, coming up momentarily here. Here's Letitia James.
Across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond to any attempt to roll back our rights. So here we are. We've studied their platforms. We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready. We're ready to respond to their attacks. We're ready to respond to any attempts to cut or eliminate any funding to the great state of New York, as the governor outlined. So despite what has happened on the national stage, we will continue to stand tall in the face of injustice, revenge, or retribution. We will continue to protect and our most vulnerable and marginalized amongst us, because it is my sworn duty and responsibility to lead that fight, working with the governor of this great state, Kathy Hochul. This is not the time to be fearful, New York, but faithful and steadfast, knowing that I, as the Attorney General, along with my entire team, we are guardians of the law, and we are prepared, my friends, to fight back. Thank you.
You know, for shamelessness, you got to give her credit. Guardians of the law, the architects of this whole thing. She's more the architect than... don't see Alvin Bragg out there saying as much. They're going to lose on appeal, hopefully sooner rather than later. We know about that. It helped Trump, though. In the end, going through this, it helped him. I would argue that probably helped him even more than the assassination, because the media moved past that pretty quickly. I don't think people took that into account, that were independents or on the fence as much at the end. Didn't seem to come into play, but this did. This lawfare was profound and over a long period of time. All right, coming up, we're happy to bring you the new Attorney General in Pennsylvania. What does that mean for us here? Particularly, we know about that special prosecutor. I don't think anybody's been named yet. Remember with SEPTA, Krasner? The guy in L.A. lost yesterday, who is the L.A. version of Larry Krasner. But I would tell you this, that guy's not as strong, as driven, and insufferable as Larry Krasner. You got to know who you're against here. Can he lose in 2025? Yeah, I think that can happen. All right, he's next. First, well, busy meal planning, right? Holidays are approaching, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's parties, and all that, and just the usual stuff. Going to work and family events, just step into your nearest Captain Chucky's. Let them take care of all that. Just pick up those Smith Island crab cakes, jumbo lump. And don't forget the mega colossal crab cakes, just delicious. Time to stock up on all your favorites with Captain Chucky's. And we've been telling you more and more, it's the crab cakes, it's the Gulf shrimp, which is another big star. It's the soups, though, the homemade sides, desserts, appetizers. It's all there, and they can help you make suggestions. They use only the highest quality ingredients. That Gulf shrimp, always wild caught, never farm raised. And you got to get the Dom Roll. Try the Dom Roll. They go through thousands of these a week. Big hit. Visit Captain Chucky's today. There's a location near you. One website, welovecrabcakes.com. Welovecrabcakes.com. Headed to the shore. Visit Captain Chucky's at the shore.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It will feel more like September today with a very warm air mass in place. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, high around 80. The record high is 79. Mostly cloudy and mild tonight, low 62. And for Thursday, a shower possible early, otherwise partly sunny, still warm with a high 76.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, welcome in. Look, the presidency, we know about that, but we also know during COVID, for example, look at school boards. Look at what they did. Trump was president. Didn't matter. Local control. So where we live here in Pennsylvania, the Office of Attorney General is critical, particularly, I would say, where we are here in Philadelphia. Joining us is the Attorney General-elect. Dave Sunday comes back with us here in Philadelphia on Talk Radio 1210. Attorney General-elect, thank you very much, Dave, for joining us today.
It is an absolute honor to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me on.
So, Dave Sunday, I remember when we talked before, and it came through, you ran a good campaign, the ads were effective, that you are an actual prosecutor. We haven't seen that with your opponent. And Josh Shapiro, I don't remember really ever prosecuting cases when he was the Attorney General, the actual lead in this. Why is that important?
Well, I think it's absolutely critical when you're the Attorney General, when you're the Chief Prosecutor, and you're making decisions on resources and cases, to have done them, to have been in courtrooms, to have worked on complex criminal investigations. I mean, one of the huge issues facing Pennsylvania, obviously, is the fentanyl epidemic, and that involves complex drug trafficking. And I think that, whenever you're in a leadership position, you always fall back on what your experience is. And so my experience has been doing everything we can to investigate and prosecute people that are harming our communities. And so that's why I think it's really important.
So, Dave Sunday, the other thing we've heard during the presidential election that people didn't buy, it seems like Democrats nationally were saying that crime is almost non-existent now. We're making it up.
Yeah, that's not true. And I think that we saw that when the Department of Justice revised their crime stats. This would have been, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. The reality is, crime, and when you sort of argue statistics, you're really minimizing the impact on crime victims. And even if it goes up a little bit or down a little bit, the reality is that, one violent crime, hurts a victim. When someone dies, it destroys families. And so I think that we have to move forward and just be very, very serious about investigating, about arresting and prosecuting violent criminals.
To that point, the previous or the current Attorney General and Josh Shapiro before, Shapiro would vaguely talk tough to the FOP. But when it came right down to cases that crossed his office, as I see it, with Larry Krasner in Philadelphia, he was reluctant and would back away from it. What's your sense of that potential relationship with Krasner?
Well, obviously there are things that we may disagree seriously on, but I view this role as being one about the citizens and working to keep them safe. And, through the course of my professional life, I've come across people that I disagree with, that I think are, that I don't like how they do business, but you got to work through it because it's not about the individuals that are elected. It's about the citizens and their public safety. And so to that point, I will do everything I can to work with every single person humanly possible that would want to work and collaborate with us on keeping the community safe, and that includes Larry Krasner. I don't want to, come to this from a place of saying that, hey, it's not going to work. I want to come to it from a place of saying that we will find a way to make it work because it's not about us.
So what is the status with the special prosecutor? It's a bit murky to me. We know what the qualifications were. This was around SEPTA, et cetera. Did that come up during the campaign? What's your stance on it? Where are we going to go with that?
So it came up during the campaign pretty regularly when we were, especially in Southeast Pennsylvania. So the status, as I know it, is that there's a special prosecutor appointed. I'm not sure if that individual, if they're prosecuting any cases at this point. I know there's some legislative concerns because I believe that law actually ends at the end of next year. And so one of the first things I'll do when I get into office in January is take a hard look at that and see, what the status is. Where are we? And so to your point, I'm going to learn about it. I'm going to learn about it as soon as I get elected, because at this point, when you talk about, criminal cases and things of that nature, prior to winning my election, I certainly wasn't privy to that information.
Okay. So I was right. It still is a bit murky here. Are you supportive legislatively, though, of what's being done as you understand it?
Yes, absolutely. This was a law that was passed by our legislature to address an issue. It was signed into law by Governor Shapiro. And so, that's our process. And I certainly support it and would utilize those resources to investigate and prosecute crimes in accordance with the law.
Okay, but I don't understand why it's murky, though, Dave, that even you don't know about what's being prosecuted. Nothing has been done. This is going on for a while, and I guess it's going to take a fresh look here to actually, are you looking at this prosecutor? Do you have somebody else in mind?
Well, I'm going to meet with that individual, and to be honest, I really don't have the information to go into that because, again, because I wasn't elected, these were things that I really had no ability to look into specifically, obviously, meaning what is being worked on. So I look forward to doing that. And like everything else, I'll conduct a full assessment and, make a determination that is aligned with achieving the goal of that legislation. And that would be prosecuting cases.
Yes. I realize the qualifications were pretty specific, but, the hunger we have here in Philadelphia to get at the attitude of the DA saying he's a defense attorney with power now, that just conflicts with being a prosecutor, an actual prosecutor as you are. Yeah. Give us an idea. Go ahead.
Oh, and just real quick, I want to say, that was a huge part of my campaign was I campaigned on the fact that, listen, I'm coming to this place through a courtroom, through being in front of juries, through working with police. That's where I come from. And to that point, the citizens overwhelmingly supported it, in particular in Southeast Pennsylvania. And so I'm beyond grateful for the support of everyone that voted for me in Southeast PA. And I'm really excited to work with my new colleagues down there and do everything we can to help the citizens be safe.
You talked about fentanyl, a huge issue for a lot of reasons. How about illegal immigration, which may play into that, Dave? Give us a sense of what you see as the role of the Attorney General in Pennsylvania.
Well, I think the starting point obviously comes down to, and being the district attorney in New York, we're directly north of Baltimore, And so I've seen the devastation that can happen when you are in very close proximity to an open-air drug market. And so, excuse me. And so to that point, fentanyl is flowing over the Mexican border. That's where it's coming from. It's killing 15 Pennsylvanians every day. And so I think that if you're looking at a triage situation, the starting point clearly is looking at our resources and saying, what are we doing to help arrest and prosecute these large-scale drug traffickers? I mean, I think that's step one. When you talk about illegal immigration, I mean, again, the reality is I want to really, wrap my head around that issue as the Attorney General and see, what can be done. Where is it impacting our community? I mean, there are limited things that the Attorney General can do, as that's primarily federal in nature. And I think that with the elections last night, I think we will probably see, we will definitely see some changes in that area.
Absolutely. Dave Sunday, congratulations, and please come back. We're very interested in what you're going to do.
Yes. Thank you, my friend. I'll come back anytime. Thank you for having me.
All right, Dave Sunday, the new Attorney General. That's a deal. And Dan, the guy's taken over the office, and this is a very detailed guy. In the interviews I've done with him, et cetera, he doesn't exactly know what the attorney, this prosecutor's doing. It's just an endless cycle. But does Krasner feel how things are turning here? The DA out in Los Angeles, who was even more renowned than he was, not as tough as Krasner, got beaten badly yesterday. So we'll see. This race is going to shape up here in 2025. All right, it is time for the lightning round coming up. What we're going to do is we'll get a winner today. We'll finish up yesterday's and then give you a chance to jump in at 855-839-1210. Hey, Philly, it's South Jersey. Diane Giordano is back with us, and you know what that means. My great friend Diane Giordano has a message for you. If you're seeing those price-reduced signs popping up everywhere, it's not the market's fault. If your home isn't priced right or staged to shine, it's going to sit and keep on sitting. You don't want that. Get Diane Giordano in your corner. Diane has been helping homeowners avoid those dreaded price cuts for over 30 years. She's got the know-how to make your home look the best, sell fast, and sell for top dollar. It's all about smart pricing, expert staging, and creative marketing. That's it. A little investment and well-thought-out pricing strategy can mean literally thousands more in your pocket. So before you put up that for sale sign, give Diane a call. She'll help make those homes irresistible to buyers, get it sold fast, sometimes even in just 2 days. If you want to know more, call Diane right now at 215-576-8666. Or online, the same thing, 215-576-8666.com. You can also get a free copy of her new book, Model Home Mindset. Don't wait. Reach out. Let's get that home sold fast for top dollar.
Businesses to watch. Kick off fall with a new Armin Chevrolet Equinox. Right now, Armin Chevrolet is leasing a new 2024 Equinox LS for only $199 per month for 24 months with 10,000 miles per year. That's right, only $199 per month. Together, let's drive. Visit Armin Chevrolet in Ardmore or shop 24/7 at ArminChevy.com. Armin, where dealership meets friendship. MSRP $28,035. Texas takes first payment bank fee and $39.99 down payment with Sunday. Requires current lease and household nature bank approval ends 11/10/24.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Mount Laurel and Northfield. My friend Roy is looking for help. A handy do-it-yourselfer would be ideal. It's a great low-pressure environment with both full-time and part-time jobs available. Plus, if you're the entrepreneurial type, Roy is always interested in bringing in new services. But above all, customer service key. If you're willing to do what it takes to help, you need to talk to Roy. Be part of the team. They power it, they light it, they fix it. Call 856-638-0778. Batteries Plus Bulbs, Mount Laurel and Northfield.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
First time seeing my son, I feel like my life did a 180. He really a definition of like why he loves somebody.
Through all of fatherhood's first, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know how important online privacy and security are these days, and that's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Have you ever searched your name online and noticed how many sites are actually selling information about you? Privacy Pro is going to help you remove your personal info from those super creepy sites so they cannot share it or sell it. That's important to me. I know it's important to you. And you know what I love? I have my own little DuckDuckGo dashboard, so it actually keeps tabs on the progress of any ongoing removals and then lets me know if my personal information was removed. It gives me those dashboard reports in real time. Gotta love it. It's 3-in-1 subscription service, DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. Get an exclusive 7-day free trial at duckduckgo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Sign up now, duckduckgo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, the voice of the people.
What a day to celebrate. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like I have a New Year's morning hangover I haven't had since college.
What you guys have done over there in this election is unbelievable. Having Presler on all the time, having Laura Trump on, having Linda Kearns on. That stuff goes a long way.
From South Jersey to Delco, from Bucks to Montco, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. We are the voice of the people. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That's right. The Lightning Round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all available rebates, applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. One quick fact from DJ. Catholics, Trump really did well this time. 15 points better, Washington Post. The Catholic vote. Big time stuff. Look, Biden was hiding as a Catholic and as a moderate, could get away with it. VP Harris could not. Side question, hit us with that comeback. The Earl of
Tom, I just want to know.
Yes.
A religious swing like that when you had abortion largely on the ticket is fascinating to see. Yeah, we got to explore that more.
Yeah, we're going to have to get to the bottom of that. It surprised me, but I think Biden not being on there, they couldn't cover both now. The Earl of Tacony. Earl, what's yours today?
Well, guess what day it is? It's Trump Day.
Trump Day?
I'll hold off on the song till a later date. My answer is going to be Robert Downey Jr. He was Brat Pack adjacent, had a young, promising career. One of the last movies he did was Less Than Zero, where he played a young man whose life was destroyed by drug use. And then life imitating art, he destroyed his life through drug use, ended up in jail and in court, and just pretty much became a joke in Hollywood. No one would hire him. Cleaned up his act, and now he's Mr. Hollywood. He's Iron Man.
Yeah, he is big. Again, that is a very good one. Chris in Malvern. Chris, who's yours?
There are two more famous Eagles comebacks above it, but there's one that's remembered for just a play when in 2004 wild card, the Eagles came back to beat Green Bay because Freddie Mitchell picked up a first down on 4th and 26.
I would have fired the entire defensive staff for that. Henry could have covered, and when it's 26, I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Beyond, I can picture it was a raw day.
FedEx delivers.
Then he did the whole belt thing. You had to pick up. That guy is the number 1 draft pick. It's hard to believe. Michael in Chester Springs. Michael, who's yours?
Hey, Dom. I would have to go with the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees had a lot of hits in the early 60s. Right. They kind of put them out there for a little while, and then they came back with all the disco, Saturday Night Fever, and all that. So
Gotcha. This one might be better, though. This really happened. Joe in Morgantown. Who's yours, Joe?
Hey, Dom, congratulations today. My story with Frank Sinatra is someone asked him who the greatest singer would be, and he said, I got to go to the bathroom. He came back to the table and said, the greatest singer would be one who rises to the top, falls flat on their feet, and then does it again.
I think that was Sinatra. Yeah, Sinatra didn't have a
Frank
voice,
Sinatra.
or there's a problem with the voice. Big deal with that. Yeah, reading in Mario Puzo's The Godfather. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, we have to do yesterday's, Henry. Who do we have from yesterday that you like?
Godfather for...
Yeah, so yesterday is the all-time debates you'd like to see settled. The one I liked the best was Stephen Haddon Township right off the rip with Bannister versus Landy in the sub 4-minute mile. I thought that one stuck out the most.
Yeah, even though I was on the other side of that debate, that was something we learned. Dan, how about you?
I like that one as well.
Okay, all right, the Bannister, still Roger Bannister. Come on now, let the guy alone, the 4-minute mile forever. Dr. Roger Bannister. Okay, now today, these comeback things were pretty intense. Give me some contenders.
Yeah, so first off, I liked Erland Tacconi's answer of Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he really re-announced himself back to the world at the end of the first Iron Man movie, and he goes, I am Iron Man. I don't think it gets, more symbolic than that, so I like that answer.
I really like the music answer from Michael of the Bee Gees, but Joe and Exton really hit us with a strong answer of
with a nuke.
The nuking of Japan after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, it's
quite a comeback from Joe of Exton.
That was outside the box. Let's go with Joe of Exton on that. That was a little bit bizarre in the beginning, but I think that you're right. By the way, Montana has just gone for the Republicans. I'm looking at that now. I'm looking at the figures. But Philadelphia still won't comply. They still have to, we're going to take our time with the McCormick race. Maybe before the end of Rich's show today, we'll have a result of that. All right, so we got those two winners into the hat. And tomorrow, we'll have a shot at another side question. And today, I mean, we're just honored, particularly, I got to say, Scott Presler today was like out of a movie with this guy. And we asked him, what are you going to do next, Scott? Oh, well, there's the governor's race, and then there's J.D. Vance for president race. So what do you think we're going to be doing? I got to get him to Philadelphia. Got to get him here. Great work last night by everybody. It was a massive team effort, our election coverage.
I just want to take people behind the scenes. Everybody here at the station contributed in one way or another and went above and beyond the Call of Duty here. So really big thank you. Matt DeSantis, Justin Otero running the things here back at the station. Dom, you quarterbacking those last 3 hours. Fantastic stuff live as it was breaking. Really good
Dawn
stuff.
and Rich, the added flow of having Rich there in Pittsburgh with the bar humor and guests
that
on
noise behind him.
Yeah,
with the
it was. That's
Great
what
stuff.
Election night means to me, to be out there and getting a little bit of a different perspective.
Henry assisting with booking. It was really good stuff.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Exactly right. All the way Dawn with us too. Nick Hale in the morning.
And obviously Greg with the mind to do it.
Yeah,
Thanks, Greg,
exactly
for setting this
right.
up and YouTube and everything.
It's rare. So Rich is next. We'll see if McCormick gets a nod sometime soon. Let's do that. Back tomorrow at noon. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Philo's got a world of entertainment for you to explore with just one subscription. Sign up today and start watching all the networks you love, like A&E, MTV, Discovery, Lifetime, Hallmark Channel, and so much more. Featuring current seasons of all the best drama, true crime, reality, and family-friendly shows.